Hello. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Sidec e-commerce class live streaming again. So this week, I hope you have a very good weekend. And then thanks for joining us today. My name is Chacha. Hello, Go Hong. Nice to see you again. Hi, Kai Shen. Hello, Janet. Hello, Color. Nice to see you again. Yeah. So for those that are joining us right now, once again, my name is Chacha, and I'm actually from DMC, Digital Marketing Consultancy, and partnering with Sidec. I will be your host for the session. Hi, Zevin. Hello, Kevin. Nice to see you again also. So for those that tuning in right now, can type in the comment, let us know. Let me know personally also, who are you? Yeah, saying hi, and then where you are actually tuning in from. Okay, so for those that just joined us, actually we have already conducted a couple of sessions previously, and for those that know Sidec, Selangor Information Technology and Digital Economy Corporation, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you who are currently watching this live with us. And do help us to share this live right now out on your social media so that you can invite your friends and family to benefit from today's session. And today we will be talking about email marketing. Yeah, some people know about email marketing. Whether it is still relevant, this is what we're going to explore today, how it will actually help you in terms of your business. So for those who are here again, also for your information, with the team Elevate Your E-Commerce Knowledge. This is actually a free e-commerce live streaming class and is brought to you by Selangor State Government together with Sidec. So we have total of like 15 scheduled sessions already. So let me just share with you here. And we are today officially at the last two, the second last. So email marketing, this is what we will be talking about today. And this week on Thursday, we have another sessions will be on content marketing under the digital marketing module. And we'll be completing our 3 months knowledge sharing. So we invite a lot of industry speakers. And today we have also 3 of them. I will invite them to be on the screen later to say hi to all of you before I pass the session to them. But before all, right now, let's pass the session to Uncheck It One from Sidec to share with us some upcoming programs that Sidec have for you. Hi, Uncheck It
Hello.
One.
Hi, Chacha. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So,
Good afternoon.
I will take over from here.
Yes,
All right,
please.
thank you. Okay, hi, everyone. So, let me share my screen first. Right, so I hope everyone can see my slide. Okay, firstly, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our EC304 class today on email marketing. So, basically, I would like to wish a very thank you, Sheshe, Nandre. Terima kasih to everyone who have joined us in our first module until today is CTO4 class. Already on our second last classes. So next week on Thursday we will have our final class. So before that, let me introduce myself first. Maybe some of you haven't met me before. So maybe some of you have met my colleague Sam and Azwan. So basically, my name is Ikwan, and I am from Sidec Team 2. So today I will give some introduction about Sidec. So for you who have who just joined us today, so let listen to me. So what is Sidec? Sidec before this are called Sidec or stand for Selangor IT and E-commerce Council, which before this we are a council. But and this year, early 2021, we have rebranded to Selangor IT and Digital Economy Corporation. So before this we are a council, and in early this year we had rebranded to Digital Economy Corporation. So from the year 2015 until 2020, CTEC achievement based on the online hunters and apps 100 program based on the Selangor SAT program and Selangor e-Bazaar and a lot of another programs that CTEC had developed. All of the programs have generated to up to 334.37 million. So this is the economic impact that we have achieved based on all projects that we have developed since year 2015 until year 2020. So before that, I would like to stress back that SIDEC is a Selangor state government agency, which we are under our parent company, which is the Invest Selangor, and we are focusing on 3 sectors, which are e-commerce, startups, and SMEs. Hello, hi Shamira, thank you. So, what are Sidec mission and vision? So, our mission is to nurture Selangor digital talents. By that, we want to narrow the digital divide, which means that all the SMEs at the urban area and outside of the urban area, we want all of the SMEs will feel the same of the e-commerce ecosystem. We don't want them to feel the digital divide. Next, we also have program for startup, which means that we want to accelerate Selangor startups to become regional tech icons. We also want to empower the digitalization of Selangor businesses and SMEs. And finally, we want to encourage Selangor digital investment and emerging technologies. So who are our ecosystem and who are our target audiences? So basically there are three entities that we are targeting, which are e-commerce, startups, and SME. So you can see that there are like a circle. So basically e-commerce needs startups, startups need SME, and all of these entities are need each other. So basically that startups will play the main role in this ecosystem to act as a TSP for e-commerce in order for e-commerce to help the SMEs to help the SME to sell the products and provide the services online. So SME also will help e-commerce by help to product sourcing and get the market in the e-commerce platform. Sorry, I suddenly speak. So I will come back to the latest slide. Okay, next is the stages of entrepreneurial cultivation. So basically, these are the phases that CDEC will face in order to develop all of our programs. So the first phase is the talent skilling, upskilling, and reskilling. So basically, as an example, the programs that we develop based on this phase are the e-commerce class, e-commerce masterclass, and the Jelajah Usahawan Digital Selangor. So after we have developed class for all SMEs want to upskill or want to reskill your skill, we will create program based on the adoption and onboarding phase. So that after you have skill your skill, you will be aboard on many other platform on the e-commerce. So such as after you have learned many basic things on the e-commerce class, you will be on board. And finally, after the adoption and onboarding phase, we will develop program based on the branding and scaling and inspire with success stories. So the program that we develop based on this phase is like the EC Top E-commerce Merchant Award. And next, we move to the Selangor Digital Creative Center. As you can see here, there is the SDCC backdrop and have the swing and have the beanie bag. So basically, this is our main HQ in ICT Shah Alam. So before this, before the COVID pandemic hit, you can come. But now we are currently open, but we are still under rotation. So later, maybe you can come visit our place if you need any consultation. Our team are very welcome you to come to our office. Our office is a certified Malaysia in the which we are endorsed by MDEC last year 2018. We are a certified digital maker hub. By I say what is a digital maker hub is we are a shared workspace, or if you come here and you want to rent our facilities, you will feel the co-working environment. What are the facilities that we are providing in our office? So basically, our facilities are not only for our colleague only, not only for CDEC staff only. So for you out there, for any SME or startup out there that want to utilize or want to rent our co-working space, you can see there are some co-working spaces. There are also photo studio. There are also seminar rooms, multiple meeting rooms, and a cafe for you in order for you if you want to rent at here, and you can receive the same facilities too. So maybe if you want to rent, you can send any quotation to our email at info@sidec.co.my. And for your information also, our co-working space rent is quite the cheapest in the Klang Valley, which is around 100 ringgit only. So we move to e-commerce program. So basically these are, I will explain some little programs that our e-commerce division has done. So the program that are ongoing is the e-commerce class. So you can see here is the module 1, module 2, and module 3. So currently we are already on our module 3 and already at our 304 class, which is our second last class. So basically the e-commerce class is only the basic class. And if you want to learn more on the advanced master class, we have completed the module or the courses that we will release soon. So actually, there are 8 modules altogether. So 4 modules is in English and 4 modules is in Bahasa Malaysia. We hear your voice. Maybe some of you request to us that you want a class in Bahasa Malaysia. So basically MC1 until MC4 will be on Bahasa Malaysia, and for MC5 until MC8 will be on English classes. So the topic are basically the same. What I mean by same is if MC1 is on Shopee on Bahasa Malaysia, MC5 also will be on Shopee but in English language. So you can choose which class that you want to join. And for your information, the class will be conducted online through webinar, and the cost is only 150 ringgit per pax, so per class. This is actually quite cheap because before this, the cost for registration for advanced masterclass is around 499 ringgit. But this time, the Selangor state government has subsidized up until 300 ringgit, so that you can only need to pay 150 ringgit only per class. So you are encouraged to join this class because if you join this class, you will get a certificate and you also will have a deeper learning one-to-one with coach. So if you want to know more about the e-commerce masterclass, you can visit to our website here, sidec.com.my / EC Masterclass 2021. All the details such as all coaches profile and all the module explanation, all the module breakdown will be explained on the website. So basically, this is the poster for the Masterclass 1 and Masterclass 2. Masterclass 1 will be starting soon, next month on 9 October, and Masterclass 2 will be on 16 October. So you can register now. The link for registration is already open. My team will provide the link in the comment section soon. Oh, thank you, Mr. Andy Tan. I take that as compliment. Okay, next we move to Online 100 and Brands 100. I got a question from Ms. Raihana. Hi, Masterclass will be receiving certificate. Yes, Ms. Raihana, we will be provided the certificate soon. When is the deadline to sign up for the English class? It's November 21. Mr. Andy Tan, for now, the registration is still open. You can still register for the class on November 21 until the day itself. So the link will be expired on November 21st. Next is the Online 100 and Brand 100 program. So basically, Online 100 and Brand 100 program is Online 100 is for you to sell on. We will onboard you on market store, and if for Brands 100, we will onboard you on website. So basically, if you enroll for Online 100, you will get Brands 100. The difference is between web store and the website. So if you join Online 100, we will provide you a free web store on local e-commerce platform. So we will onboard you in the platform, and you can advertise and sell your product in there. While for Brands 100, if you register, we will give you 2 years free domain and web hosting. So you know that the cost to develop website is quite expensive, right? So if you join Brand 100, you will get the website for free only, subsidized by the Selangor state government. Mr. Kevin have signed up for 2 of the MC. Thank you, Mr. Kevin. Thank you. So next is Jelajah Usaha Digital Selangor. We also have the create module, which means we want to explore out there at the local at the outside of the urban area, such as the Kelang, Bangi, and Ampang. So the main idea behind of this program is we want to give the same ecosystem for Kelang, Bangi, and Ampang, and more other region out there. After this, we will develop the same program if the COVID has ended. Next is the Malaysia Top E-commerce Merchant Award. So this program is for you out there who are already selling and you have product. So you can come to join this program because this is the biggest e-commerce merchant award program. So if you register for this program, in this program, the judges, we hire the judges that will evaluate you, and we will give mark to you. We will evaluate based on your website, based on your place that you are selling, and we will evaluate your sale, and finally we will give mark, and maybe you will be announced as the next Top E-commerce Merchant Award. The idea behind of the Top E-commerce Merchant Award is basically we know that already top selling product such as earphone or earbuds, but in this Top E-commerce Merchant Award, we want to give credit to the seller behind the product. So if we all know about the product, we also want to know who are the seller, who are the success seller that sells the product. We also have a study trip to China, which means we bring our SME player to a trip at Hangzhou. This is basically our last trip on year 2018. We want to give the entrepreneurs exposure on cross-border, and we also want the SME to experience and learning business-related technology and to sell cross-border to China. Apart from e-commerce program, we also have programs for startups. So basically, if you are out there who are a startups company, you can register for our SAP program soon. So basically, if you see here, there are SAP program, Fish at Selangor series, Startup Roadshow domestic, and Startup Roadshow overseas. There are a lot of programs that we have registered, that we have created for SAP for startups out there, and for the winner for the startups last Fish Selangor 2019, we brought them to Silicon Valley. So Silicon Valley is located in San Francisco. So if you register, if you are the winner last time, we brought to Silicon Valley because we want to expose you to the mentor at the Silicon Valley, and maybe you will meet some investor at that to invest in your business, in your products. Apart from that, we also have programs for SMEs, and you can see here, such as the SME Enrichment Workshop and SME Digital Accelerator Program. So, several additional programs for our e-commerce program is like the Selangor e-Bazaar and also Selangor SME Digitalization Matching Grant. So for Selangor e-Bazaar campaign, we have several phases that we have done before, such as the Selangor e-Bazaar Raya 2020, Selangor e-Bazaar 11/11, Selangor e-Bazaar Chinese New Year, and also the Selangor e-Bazaar Raya, which ended last June. So this is the microsite, the Selangor e-Bazaar 2020 microsite, small in the Shopee. If you visit, you can see the. If you have ever visited the Selangor e-Bazaar, you can see the microsite in there. So here are the achievement from the last Selangor e-Bazaar. So from the Selangor e-Bazaar Raya 2020 until Selangor e-Bazaar Raya 2021, the Selangor state government has subsidized 2 million each, 1 million each to Shopee and Lazada to be utilized by the seller that as a voucher for buyer to buy products or any goods from the shop, and they can utilize the voucher. So from voucher allocated 7 million ringgit, the total sales direct from the voucher was around 144.7 million. So this is more than 100%. I think more than 200% of the profits from the voucher allocated up compared to the total sales. So what can I see is the Selangor e-Bazaar Raya 2021 is quite good, and what can I say is I want to give credit to all the Selangor seller that are registered for Selangor e-Bazaar, because you have taken a proactive action apart from selling conventional. So you have go to e-commerce and you have go digital, so you can make sure that your product and your business can run smoothly. Next is the Selangor SME Digitalization Matching Grant. So how is this grant work? Is the grant is by the Selangor state government, which means we will provide a 50% matching grant for any SME out there or any company out there that want to subscribe to any service provider. So the 15% matching grant is meaning to 5,000 ringgit max. So if your company want to adopt any digitalization, and the product cost is around 10,000 ringgit, so we will need to pay only 5,000 ringgit. So another 5,000 ringgit will be subsidized by the Selangor state government. So which area that you can apply for the matching grant is, you can see here, for the e-commerce, HR and payroll system, cloud accounting and tax, digital marketing, and also ecosystem. So if you want to adopt any digitalization in any digitalization in this area, you can apply for this grant. So the good news for you is the grant is still available up to 3.8 million ringgit, and the grant is still open until 31st October. You can apply by visiting the link that I show here, www.sidec.my/Selangor Grant 2021. So here see your eligibility. Maybe if you are registered under relevant laws of Malaysia and your company is at least 51% owned by Malaysian, and you have company registered in Selangor, or you have a business address in Selangor. So if your main HQ is in KL, Kuala Lumpur, but your branch is in Selangor, so you can still apply for this grant. Don't worry. You can still apply for this grant. So you can visit our website. You want to know more on what the SME Digitalization Matching Grant. So this is the data Internet Selangor. So data Internet Selangor is for you out there who are or for online sellers, where the Selangor state government will be give a subsidize of 20 ringgit per month for a period of 12 months. You will receive a free internet and you will receive a SIM card. So you need to pay only 20 ringgit and you will receive a 12-month free internet every month by pay only 20 ringgit. So this is quite a huge bargain. And this application is open from 15 July. So the application is still open. So if you are in our EC WhatsApp group, you can find the link in there and you can still register. So basically there are 3 packages that offer in the data Internet Selangor. There are prepaid package Live 20 by Digi, prepaid package Selcom B40, and prepaid package TM prepaid bebas by Unify. So you can register on any package here. Maybe you are interested in Digi or Selcom or Unify. So for you out there, you can still apply for this data internet Selangor. If you want to know more about this data internet Selangor, you can send an inquiry to data internet Selangor, or you can send an email to ecommerce@sidec.co.my. Before that, I want to show again about the e-commerce masterclass. So for this e-commerce masterclass that will be held soon on 9 October, you are really encouraged to join this class. So if you want to know more on e-commerce masterclass, you can direct contact me at the phone number that you can find me in the Sidec EC info WhatsApp group. So if you want to know more on EC masterclass, or if you have any question, you have any inquiries, you can call me or you can text me. Never mind, I will be one call away, so you can text me anytime. All right. So I think that's all from me. I see many comment that saying about my appearance today. So thank you, Mr. Poi. Thank you, Mr. Pong. Thank you, Mr. Joshua. All right. So I hope everyone will have something new from today's class. And back to you, Chacha. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Chacha.
No problem. Yeah, he
All
looks
right.
handsome today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you again,
All
Jacket
right.
Guan. All right. So for those that joining us, we have over 200 of you here. So you saw Mr. Ikwan share a lot of information about masterclass as well. Yeah. So do sign up, and if you want to join the WhatsApp group as well. So when you register for any easy class, there's a WhatsApp link, so you can join that WhatsApp group so to get further information as well. Once again, thank you, Jacket Guan,
Okay. Bye,
for
everyone. Thank
sharing.
you. All right.
Okay, bye bye. All right, so for those who are here again, welcome everyone. Yeah, so good to join us this afternoon. And back to the topic today. Our topic for the day is email marketing, as I mentioned. Yeah, so it may sound like one of the oldest form of digital communication too, because like since the time we know, we have been on like email, right? So we've been through like Hotmail, Yahoo, and right now Gmail, and a lot more. So it is like the act of sending commercial message to specific individuals by using email. We can use it to broadcast advertisement, promotion, at the same time also to communicate, build loyalty, trust, brand awareness. Email marketing can be for the purpose of enhancing the relationship with your current customers, encourage your customers' loyalty for repeat business as well. So today's topic, we're going to hear from 3 industry experts about interesting facts on email marketing and how you can actually take some of the tips and practice back to your daily life. And right now, I will invite 3 of our speakers of today to be on the screen with me to say a simple hi to the audience. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone.
One from the
Hello, everyone. Hi.
yes, and you hear from Jeffri, Mr. Jeffri from Engine Miller, and then Mr. Andrew, like doing a very interesting show here, yeah, Mr. Andrew from ANTZ Digital. All right, so we will later on, all our audience here will first hear from Ms. Yuee, and then follow up by Mr. Jeffri and then Mr. Andrew for today's session. Right.
Sure.
So right now, I will have all the speakers to take some rest at the back end first, and I'll have Ms. Yuee to be on the screen with me. Okay, so for housekeeping rules for everyone before we start the session. So do interact with our speakers as much as possible. Type your question down. We have a Q&A sessions at the end of today. So all the speakers will again join us to be on the screen to answer your questions. We'll pick some relevant one for them to answer on. And for Ms. Yuee here, I'll do a quick background introduction. So Ms. Yuee has more than 10 years of experience in software development, couple of passions for web development and digital marketing. So she continued to aspire for like the software as a service innovation specialist, and continue to grow her skill in the area of AI and business process automation. Yuee specializes in content management platforms and AI and chatbot platforms, especially on Facebook messaging platform. So she's also a recipient of 2015 MSC Malaysia Asia Pacific ICT Awards that provides recognition to outstanding achievement of individuals, students, entrepreneurs, SME, and organizations. So right now, today she will share with us about some of the points on email marketing. I will right now pass the session over to you, Yuee.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me know if you guys can see my slide. Well, okay. And hey, and if you can hear me loud and clear, just let me know. All right. Now, my session is going to be very short today, but I think, I hope also sincerely that you'll get some additional information about email marketing. And for those of you who are probably here the first time, welcome. All right. I see some familiar names. Okay. I've been here throughout almost all the Sidec sessions, and I'm glad to see very, very familiar names here. Hey, all right. Okay. Now, without further ado, let's go. Okay. So what we're going to cover today, okay, we're going to actually explore some email, all right, some types of email for e-commerce business, tips on how to, increase your open rates and return rates. I'll explain all of that in a bit, all right, and also some quick ideas to grab customer emails from your website to actually start your email marketing business. Yeah, all right. So, hey, okay, good. Right. So many people tell me email marketing is dead. But then there are some people who tell me, long live email marketing. Thank goodness there is still email marketing. And of course, again, in the market, you probably hear people saying, I thought the whole world have already moved on to Messenger lah, WhatsApp lah, Telegram lah, or what's not. Oh my God, so many hearsays, so many things going on out there. But again, today's topic is email marketing, and I'll tell you why we should really focus on email marketing. All right. Now, do you guys know how old is emails? The email technology that we use now. Some of us like it, some of us hate it, some of us barely even use it. But let's do a quiz here. How many of you know how old actually this email technology has existed? Any guesses? All right, you can try and guess it inside the Facebook, and I'll see whether you're close enough or not. I have to be really frank, right? The email technology is actually older than me. And I'm not very old. All right. So yeah. Okay. So take a guess in the chat while I continue my presentation here. Hey, so email started out as a communications tool. All right. Now, of course, again, there are smart people in the world, and marketers turn it into a broadcasting tool. All right. So yeah, I can see some of you guessing. Very good. Keep the guess going on, and I'll let you know how old this technology is. All right. Now, of course, again, when email marketers use it as a broadcasting tool to market stuff, then the creation of spam. All right. And also some people say it is also the start and the creation of scam. All right. Although there's only one letter difference, let me tell you what's the difference here. Spam means you pump marketing messages, without giving a thought that people want it or not. Scam means you're using content to give false information to cheat people on taking an action. So yeah, spam and scam, not very far away. But again, whenever we talk about emails, we're probably going to be swamped with all these issues. Now, all right. Okay, so the question should be asked right now. Okay, should be asked instead. Do you guys still use email? All right, come on, man. Okay, I said try and see your answer. Okay, somebody say 25 lah, 30 lah, or you're trying to make email look very younger. Okay, I'll let you know the answer. Email, the technology, is at least 50 years old. It's calculated from the time the first email is sent out on the internet. It's a 50-year-old technology, and in technology space, this is amazing. Still use email, right? Cannot survive without email. Come on, man. All right. Okay. So again, those of you who use email, you have your reasons, right? You will see some value in emails, despite knowing that there's spam there. But there's so many technology advancements on the internet nowadays. Gmail lah, Yahoo Mail lah, whatever email software you use, whatever email services you use, they are already, having this anti-spam thing. All right, you are protected. That's why people still use email. Okay, we still rely on email. We still have this safe channel that we go to, knowing that we will not get overwhelmed. Sort of, right? Okay, compared to what? Okay, compared to these three musketeers here. Isn't it? Okay. Let me ask you this. All right. A lot of people tell me, email is for old school people. Like, email is so slow. Why don't I just, do the marketing using Telegram, WhatsApp Messenger? It's so much faster. It's so much cheaper also. I just send out only ma. And then people, they normally will give me the phone number. It's so easy. But let me tell you guys, personal messaging softwares like this, it's actually creating a sense of overwhelm. All right. In reality, we are very, very extremely overwhelmed. We are overwhelmed until the extent that, some of your mobile phone is probably looking at you like this every day. Few 100,000 emails, unread emails, few 100,000 unread messages. It's the same. All right. But every time when we talk about email, we have a moment of, serenity. We can really take our time to slowly go through all the good stuff that a business are willing to share with us. Sometimes we treat, our emails like, it's a very nice garden of information. We just go through as and when we want it. We take a look here, we take a look there. We feel cool, we feel calm, right? All right. So, of course, again, you've got to understand why people prefer one method over the other. Okay. It's because you must consider first your customers. Are they fast-moving people? Are they people who like to take their time? Not all content is suitable for all platforms. Some people really like certain types of content delivered to them via email because they really want to take time. They want to invest in more effort, more time to understand what is it you're about. Is it worth it for them? So, the intention to buy, when after people actually read your email and they have went through a process of considering whether it's good for them or not, that, ladies and gentlemen, builds loyalty, builds trust. It builds trust in a different way compared to, getting that message on a very fast-moving platform like Messenger, chat, or WhatsApp. All right, if you agree to what I say, just share it in the chat. And what do you think? Do you think you are extra overwhelmed when you're on WhatsApp compared to email? Or is it the other way around? Okay. And the fact is also, the customers, they don't really like to read long text messages. Now, some of you might seen it before when, this, messenger marketers, they send things to you. They always these long messages. Oh my God. Do you really read them all? Or you just scan the first sentence and then you say, sales message, move on, skip, next. So yeah, some people get annoyed. So what can you do? All right, go to a channel that's familiar to people so that they understand that what you're giving, the value that you're giving, all right, is something useful to them, something they can consider taking action on. All right, let me take a look at all the comments here. You subscribe to a lot of companies to read their newsletters. Yes, Amira. Okay. Hey. All right, Wong. You were told by email marketing is outphased. It really depends what you're using it for. All right, and really depends on the context. I'll show you a few examples. Now, for you as a business, you should never, ignore the powerful thing that email marketing can do for you, especially when you're going into e-commerce. All right, and I'll show you a few examples why. Okay, but first of all, you have to know there are many different types of emails. It's not just typing one email and sending it out to people. That's what we call marketing emails sometimes. Some of you actually convert your brochures, your flyers, and just send it out like a commercial message. But do you know that marketing emails are very often the ones that is, being paid less attention to? The intent to buy after reading that kind of email is, meh, should I consider it now? Save for later, and then suddenly later becomes never. All right. Yeah, some people, spammers especially, they do this guerrilla kind of marketing where they just simply get, email addresses from somewhere. All right. And let's just blast them email, bomb them with a lot of emails. Hopefully there's one fish that actually bites the email and comes and contacts you. Is it the right way to do marketing, guys? Yeah, don't worry, okay? I'll tell you how or what is the right way to get emails from them. And the key point here is you want people to take action on your emails you must practice something called opt-in. You must give the control to them to tell you, I want to be in the know. All right. So those of you who, probably heard of some magical software out there that says, hey, you can easily send you marketing messages to this group of people, for free. Sorry, be careful. You are actually not following local laws, and there is something called GDPR, or even in Malaysia, there's something called PDPA that is designed to protect privacy. All right, people don't like to get spammed. Okay, now if you guys ask me what's the difference between the local privacy law and the foreign privacy law, I would say, people who are in the UK, US, they have a central organization that governs. If this person doesn't want to hear from a business, they can actually get logged into a central database to say, do not contact or do not market. They actually have that system. But in Malaysia, you will find that there's a very huge gray area about this. All right, some of you might have heard that you can actually buy emails from somewhere else and you just market to them. All right, so those of you who are new to the idea of marketing, please remember that not everybody will react to your email. In fact, not everybody will welcome you. And some, nowadays, our fingers are so powerful, they will report you as spam. You don't want that to happen, man. All right, now, for businesses, those who are already in business, you might want to do something called transactional emails. Now, especially when you're talking about e-commerce, a lot of our systems are already automated, all right, are already online. So for example, if you are e-commerce seller on Lazada, on Shopee, some of these transactional emails are already done for you. Like for example, somebody bought something from your online store. So they will actually send a receipt or purchase acknowledgement. Now, these are also considered as email. Although I have to say, when you are an online store owner, you will realize that the email, most of these emails, of course, have the online store branding lah. So it's not very powerful to your business brand. But again, with a little bit of investment, with a little bit of emphasis on business branding, you can actually, set up your own e-commerce website and have full control over the transactional emails, and also have the additional plus point of doing self-branding. Yeah, all right. So of course, again, password updates, service delays, these are things that you need to give the customer to feel a sense of better control over the experience. Of course, again, there's also triggered emails. Now, triggered emails are like, if the customer has not done something, all right, and you want to actually send a reminder email to them to do it. What I'm talking about is actually cart abandonment emails. All right, so if you're into e-commerce, especially those of you who are selling a product, you might also study a little bit about your customer behavior. Some of them, basically use the shopping cart like a wish list. All right, so they keep adding stuff inside the cart, but they never check out. Why? You want to push them to do a checkout. All right, so that's the thing that, of course, triggers us as business owners emotionally. But what I'm saying here is you have to actually get your system, your email system, either personally or something, all right, to actually send a reminder email to them to say, hey, you've got items in your cart there. You want to check out? If you check out today, I'm going to give you maybe about 10% discount out. All right. So, of course, another example is registration confirmation, or even celebratory emails. How many of you actually got an email from this, business that you like, your favorite business, Dome lah, Starbucks lah, whoever else, especially in F&B? Do you receive any happy birthday kind of coupon or, emails whenever it's your birthday? How many of you actually receive that? Do you like it? Yeah, some of you are asking for a reference, yeah? Yeah, there's plenty of it here. All right, so no problems. Hey. All right, so again, birthday emails, a very good excuse to send something out. Yeah. Now, whatever it is, your approach, every single type of email actually maps itself to different stages of the customer buying journey. All right, so marketing emails generally is used to maybe attract people and move from attraction and converting them into a fan or somebody that actually subscribes to you, follows you. So those of you who are doing blogs, all right, I hope you do have a sign up for newsletter column down there, because you're actually giving so much value through your website. You're building a niche, you're building your community. You want to let them know, hey, you want to be really in the know? I could send all this content that I post every day in the email in a very neat and nice summary, a roundup to you every week, every day, every month. You get to choose how often you want emails from us. Wow. If there is one company or one business or even, a blogger, someone out there who actually willing to give you that much of a control over how much email you want to receive, I'm sold. That's how to do marketing. Not hard sell, but soft sell. Give people the option of what kind of notification that they want. Of course, again, all right, you can always go through the personalized email route. All right, people sign up for ebook, and you might want to connect them to one-to-one. Sure, most B2B businesses actually do this on a case-by-case basis. All right, we've actually done a webinar. We collected interested people's emails. You want to actually send an email down there, all right, to actually educate them. Oh, when's the next webinar? Can we actually make a one-to-one consultation moment? Yeah, why not? Plenty of opportunities for them to convert your visitors, people who visited some sort of content on your website, into actual leads who are interested. And all these leads, after experiencing your actual business, they become customers. And here is what I want to say. Those of you who already have e-commerce business, or even some of you are sitting here who actually worked in the retail line, I want to ask you this very, very big thing. Now we are moving on to a stage where, all economies are opening up. People might have already spent so much time isolated in the house, all right, that they don't even take the time to go out and everything. Do you email them to remind them that you are still around and that you welcome them? If you have not collected their email before, you might want to start doing that now. All right. Okay, so some of you have probably communicated with them through WhatsApp blasting. I'm telling you, WhatsApp blasting, it can work for a while, but once a lot of people start reporting your numbers, that's it, gone. All right, so start getting their email address so that you can, take the opportunity to send them your latest menu, your reopening deals, your map to your shop. All right, so something, okay, guys, retails, okay, this is an idea for you. All right, go ahead and use email to communicate with them. All right, when they're free, when everything settles down with them, they come across your email, they feel that, hey, you remember us. Okay, I will come to your shop. All right, so that's how you get them, to resonate with your brand, and also, to promote you to other people as well. All right, for all you know, they are people who are very interested with this particular product, this particular shop. Hey, I used to go to this shop for the greatest steaks, for the best Western seafood. And I think, my friends would be missing this as well. All right, so, they could just take the opportunity to just forward the email to someone else, their friends. And who says emails cannot grow in reach? You can. All right, but you're targeting people who are genuinely interested in your business instead of sending it like a spam. Yeah. All right. So, okay, awareness, consideration, decision, you will give different kinds of email, different kinds of content to your audience, to your email list. Okay, it's a good idea when you build your email list. You pay extra attention how you got their email address in the first place. Are these people, they just sign up to your newsletter? These people are probably at the awareness stage. They're not really ready to buy anything from you yet, but they just want to be guided through, an eventual stage of maybe considering buying something from you, or maybe checking you out a little bit deeper before they actually buy something from you. All right. So this diagram here, you can see a lot of samples here, but, especially those of you who are in product-based e-commerce, you probably need to put a little bit more effort to do some really simple guides to share out right? Checklists, videos, tutorials. They love these kind of things. All right. Not just that. If I find a guide that is so useful, I will not hesitate to share it to someone else. So yeah, it's a very, very sharing community. We love sharing things. All right, even if it's on email. Okay, free samples, or even product spec sheets, catalogs, or even, you know, up to the stage where there's decision making. Then you want to customize it to the level that, hey, thanks for following through our newsletters. You know, we've seen that you are very highly engaged. You love our content so much. Tell you what, I'm going to give you a coupon here, and you can buy something from our shop right now. Coupon is active for about 24 hours. Something like that. So yeah, all right. But again, you have to understand your customers. How often do they really check their email, and how engaged they are when you send an email to them. All right, Wong, you're saying you hated email generated by robots, yeah? Yes, do not use robots to generate emails. But when you produce content, okay, that, you know, resonates to what people want to see from your brand, and you segment it properly, actually you will get results. It's not so much of keep pumping them with email and then eventually they will give up and they will, you know, do something with you. It's not like that. All right. So yeah, again, a few tips here. You can generally start with a weekly newsletter and adjust your frequency. There will be some people who are extra excited to hear something from you, and you tell them to do something, you know, they tell them to check out content. They almost immediately within 6 hours come into your website. So you don't be surprised. There are some niche markets that actually react like that. All right. So again, try organic ways, share blog posts, share customer stories, share testimonials, you know, and that birthdays, you might think, you know, people's birthday not important lah to my business. No. It's one of the most frequently used excuses to re-engage with your customers. Because we know it's definitely everyone has a birthday. Of course, again, some of you are probably looking at me and say, hey, those February 29 birthday one, how ah? Oh, that one special case, okay? All right, I know. Okay, but again, you can, you know, you can do it in such a special way that it still makes them feel special. You know, Friday month babies, something like that. Can lah, okay? All right. Okay, now e-commerce business. What is essential for e-commerce business? So there's welcome emails, abandonment emails, confirmation emails, feedback review, replenishment emails, and promotional emails, product-based emails, and informational emails. Now, I'm going to show you a lot of samples from here on out. Not a lot of talking anymore, but feel free to ask questions if you have any. Yeah. Okay. Now, first rule: email marketing is not just send one email to welcome people and that's it, done deal. All right. Now I'm going to keep this screen a bit longer just in case you want to really read what's happening. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what real email marketers do. They don't always just send one email just for one purpose. In fact, that one purpose to welcome people to your business sometimes have 5 or 6 different emails. Fact of life, no matter what channel we are, an average human only has the attention span of maybe about 7 seconds. You give them a very long email, they probably cannot take the time or enough time to read everything that is inside the email. In fact, most of you are probably doing this. Open email. Scan for interesting subject line. Oh, this is interesting. Click open. Scan the first line inside your email. Okay, if it says hi something, you maybe pay extra attention. If it doesn't say hi something or it starts with a big picture, you probably look at the picture and probably look for a logo somewhere. Is this a brand that I know? Who is this person? Then you probably look for some buttons there. You don't even read the text inside the email. All right, when you know, you see a call to action button that says get something for free. Eh, why am I getting something for free? Then you will pay attention to the text. Are you guys doing that as well? All right, so anyway, all right, just to let you know, expert marketers, they do threads, they do multiple sequences of emails to actually get, you know, people to react. Okay, but always ask yourself, how did the user opt in to be contacted via email? And especially for those of you who actually has an e-commerce store, remember, there are two ways normally that people will give you an email once they come to your store. One, they want to pay for an item in your store. They are looking for a way to actually make the payment, and you ask them to sign up for an account. So definitely you will get the email address from here. Second thing, I'm just shopping around lah. I'm not ready to buy yet lah. The moment I want to exit the website, ding, hey, get 10% off. You want? Hey, you leave us your email. I'm going to send this coupon to you. You come back later. Got now. Aha, having promotion. All right. So whatever it is, whatever reason it is, be it a sign up or even getting people to give their email for a certain reason, you must always have a privacy policy on the website. This is to protect you as a business, and also give some sense of privacy to the customers. Now, especially those of you who are maybe doing e-commerce, but you're not sure where your customers are coming from, please make sure you ultimately must have a privacy policy. All right? Because you never know. You might actually need to adhere to certain laws, especially the EU. All right. So again, this is just an example of a 5-email welcome flow. All right. Of course, again, the subject line is very, very important. When you know the first thing people scan through the list of their emails, 10,000, 20,000 emails. All right. Email of the day, which subject line more interesting? I click that one out, open first. All right. It's definitely the one thing, the first thing that you have to get right. Now, after that, all right, you might want to continuously send them different emails for bits and pieces of your business. You can start by introducing maybe a personal message as a business owner. Hey, welcome to our business. We are keen to actually show you more about our fashion selection. All right. Or maybe the second email, you want to introduce them to your social media. Again, one call to action at a time. I know you want your customer to follow you everywhere. You probably have, 10, 20 different social medias, but, when customer want to know you, they don't expect an overwhelming bunch of information coming back to them. Slow lah, right? Little bit at a time, okay? You want to actually tell people what other people are saying about your business. All right? You want to reassure them that selecting our business is the right thing. All right? So you show them customer testimonials that you've received for your business. All right, you might actually, get them more motivated to look at your selections, look at your products more. All right. Now, some of you probably saying, hey, that's a really good idea and all, but how about my social media? Now, sometimes people don't really go to your social media or add you or join or subscribe to your social media because they don't know what to expect on your social media. Why not, in one of your emails, your welcome emails, you show them, you know what, our online stores has a lot of selection on fashion, but we actually show you more extra tips on our TikTok channel, on our YouTube channel. And you just put a video in there to let people know that, hey, we're much more than just selling clothes, We actually give fashion tips as well. Yeah. All right. So again, suggest things to your customers because you don't know which email they'll open at that time. But that one little call to action is strong enough for them to say, hey, okay lah, I check you out lah. Because you're not trying to push ideas to me. You're not trying to make me do 300 things at one time. I like that. Yeah. All right. Of course, last but not least, you want to tell them, yeah, I know my shop, 100 over, 200 over SKU. I don't know how to choose. Don't worry. You give them an idea of what they can check out in your website. All right. What's your best selling products? What's going viral right now? You saw that sunglasses that was, worn by this so-and-so influencer. Guess what? We have an exact inspired by replica that's inside our website. All right. You might want to come and check it out. Yeah. Or you have a blog. You give some sort of indicators, give some sort of idea that people, can add more value, can actually get more value from you. Or you might actually want to also show people, hey, you want to talk about us, you bought a new clothes from us, you want to take a picture and, show off a little bit, all right? Get featured in our newsletters. You can actually do that, but you suggest to them what you as a business is willing to do, all right, to get them more involved in emails. But again, soft selling, subtle introduction of the idea that how the customer can actually engage with you, although they're just taking their time. All right. Of course, again, we have to deal with spam. All right. Or especially spam filters on Gmail lah, Yahoo Mail lah, Outlook. I never forgot that. I know some of you are purposely here in this session because you want to know how to conquer all these spam filters out there. All right. When you send email out to your customer, especially the welcome email, you ask them for another favor. Get them to whitelist your email. It's a very clear indicator to whatever spam filter that is on that channel to make sure that, spam filter, you don't go and filter this email. All right. On Gmail, they basically have the star icon and also the important indicator. All right. So if you are really giving really useful content, all right, some people actually do take effort to actually mark it as important, mark it as a star message. All right. When you get people to whitelist you, your email will end up inside the primary tab or in the main inbox. Nowadays, I tell you, email software, they have this box called promotions, notifications, alamak. Your email will never see the light of day. So when to ask to be whitelisted, the moment the person sign up with you, that's when they are hot. That's when they remember you. Okay, yeah. Okay, so again, this is just some metrics that we share around. Whenever we say your email working for you, your email is performing well or not, performance. All right, and we like to say, if you want to improve something, you must know how to measure. Two things we measure, what's the open rate of your emails, and also what's the click-through rate of your emails. Okay, now there is a very big debate among email marketers. What exactly is this click-through rate? Okay, now basically there are two numbers. There's actually click-through rate and click-to-open rate, which actually measures different things. All right, so my slide here actually says, if you are measuring click-through rate, means it takes the overall performance of your subject line and also content. But your click-to-open rate only takes consideration about your content. That means how well your call to action is working for you. For example, you send one email catalog of all your products. All right, and you really want to know, whenever I send an email to promote ABC product, okay, which product actually gets more clicks from emails. All right, so sometimes you will consider click to open instead of click through rate, because these emails that go out to them, how you recommend products to your customers, you're probably using different subject lines, and subject lines is not really important, all right, when it comes to how many people are actually interested in that product. All right, so again, we're going to go to some subject of cart abandonment. Okay, and I'm looking at my time. I only have about 13 minutes. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Okay. All right, so what will motivate them to check out? Okay, motivations. I know. All right, some of you are probably going to automate this cart abandonment software. And again, there are softwares to do this. There's also email service providers. In fact, our next speaker is Jeffri from one of the most used email providers, sending providers, and he might give you an insight on this. But coming back here, all right, how you're going to get these people to take an action when you send a follow-up email? All right, let's say they added something in the cart. You want to get them to do something. Hey, check out now, check out now. You're not going to actually hold their hand and then go back into your website and just click on the checkout button, right? You can't do that. But you can convince people. And here are some techniques. Limited time offers. Okay, so don't worry, guys. I can see a lot of you asking for the slide. All right, so it will be shared. Okay, in recording. My team will actually share with you the information later. All right, but just focus on the content with me. All right, plan some flash sales. Okay, schedule some discount event in specific days. All right, like early bird discount lah, summer sale lah. So sometimes there are some people, all right, I have seen locally in Malaysia, I think Yuee. If you guys actually bought anything from Yuee e-commerce website, they also do a lot of flash sales, and their flash sale is 24 hours. Right? Yeah. So it's either you get it at this price now online, or when you actually go to their retail shop, you actually have to buy the original price. Yeah, they do that all the time. All right. But it actually gets people attention. They are in the know that you're trying to give value. All right. Whenever there's a chance. Okay. It will actually get them to come back for more. It will actually get them to finally check out. All right. The thing that is in the cart. All right. You know that you're going to get it cheaper online. You're definitely going to check it out now. See? All right. Very good technique. I've seen people actually do that before, and something that you can consider. Peace of mind offers. Now, do you know why some people, they add things inside the cart, but they don't actually check out immediately? All right. They're probably thinking, hey, your website, you seem to sell every single thing under the sky. All right. How do I know that, this is the whole thing? Am I paying for something really basic, but not the additional stuff that I should have? All right. So case in point, this is like a smartphone. All right. So sometimes people are reluctant to buy a smartphone, even though installment, payment methods is given to you and everything. But people are still skeptical because, it would be nice if it's a more comprehensive bundle, or it's a more comprehensive idea of owning a smartphone. All right. Now, if you know there is such a thing, all right, there are related products that people often buy together, you might want to take that opportunity to offer it as a value, as a recommendation to these customers. Hey, we noticed that you actually bought this smartphone. Why not consider buying it with a screen protector and also this really nice leather case? And tell you what, we're going to give you a little bit more extra on that. Normally, these three things bundle, is about 2,000 ringgit Malaysian. All right, if you check out right now, we're going to give you a nice discount, right? So it's about 10% off, 20% off. So again, giving value, but at the same time, getting them to actually check out. That's a really good stuff. Some of you might notice this also with seafood or frozen food. Very, very popular technique. You want the ice box with that, so that it's guaranteed to reach you still frozen, still cold. All right. Gift and rewards. Yeah, gift and rewards is also another very popular option. All right. And sometimes cart abandonment don't just happen on websites. All right. Sometimes if you have, a mobile app, or you do something, people actually do something on the mobile phone. All right. You can actually have loyalty points, right? So you can encourage them, to exchange the loyalty points, okay, to actually get something at a much cheaper price. And that might motivate them to actually check out. All right. Help them come to a decision. All right. So again, you can actually get your robots, set up your robots in such a way they can actually scan your list of products and know that which products are actually similar. All right. Or maybe same intention. Some people, they will add a lot of things in their cart, but they are not sure whether they should buy this or that. All right. So maybe your cart abandonment follow-up email, you want to try something like, hey, we noticed that you actually added this in the cart, okay, like grapes, like blackberries, okay, and strawberries. So which one is better? So you might want to actually give a little bit more information, or you spotlight certain products that sells better for you. What is better? Many different things. Maybe you can get the stock at a much cheaper cost. All right. Maybe you most of the time have very good customer review on this particular product. You highlight that one, you spotlight. You remind them of the unique selling point. This one is better option. All right. So sometimes people, they're just not paying for it yet because they're still thinking. All right. Suggest to them how to make a decision. All right. Of course, delivery shipping fees. Okay. It might scare them already. Wow, have to pay so much delivery fee. Oh my God. Later lah. Okay. So later lah means when? So that's why cart abandonment email, you might want to remind them, what you actually very, very close to free delivery already. You just probably need a few more items. Here are the few items that I think, it goes well with whatever you're buying. And this has happened to me many times, especially for e-grocery e-commerce. Yeah, they want to deliver things to you. But again, if your coverage area doesn't meet the minimum threshold, They can't give you free delivery. And a lot of people tend to only at the end realize that, wow, delivery charge very high. So, you know, what you can do. All right, remind them how far away from free shipping and solve their problem with a reminder email, with a follow-up email. Yeah. Okay. So ask your customer for review email. Okay. Some of you are probably shy to ask for customer review on WhatsApp. Use like email. Email, you can write very personalized email. You can say, hey, you know, you actually bought a product from us. Can help us leave a review. And of course, again, I think you observe Shopee. Whenever Shopee asks you to leave a review, I think most of us what we do is we just take, you know, one video, all right, just do a bit of selfie, take a photo of my cat, put up there. It's not even about the product. Oh my God, why? It's probably because you never, you know, like this first sample that you see here, you never tell them what you expect from your review. So of course they give you 1 or 2 lines that is not totally related to the product. They probably tell you, oh, delivery success in one piece, no broken. But what about the product? Is it useful or not? Especially Shopee, I see this example a lot. Lazada, not so bad. Somehow but only the products that I see. But again, make it easy for them to leave a review. If it's a point system, then just give them a point system. Yeah, no need long one. Okay, you know your audience. No time to review but you know the product was good, and you can send ask your customers for a review much later after they use the product for a bit. Right? For example, if you're selling facial cream. All right, if it's facial cream, you might need to use for about at least 7 days before you see any difference in the skin tone. Then you ask after 7 days. Yeah. Shopee is different. Shopee, if you buy a face cream from them, I tell you the recommendation or the ask for customer review email will probably come out in 3 days. Where got enough time to see what results come out? They cannot even give you a good customer review also. Timing, guys. When you have control over your own email marketing, you have control over when to send email out. And you'll get quality customer testimonials. Of course, again, in following up to that example, there's something called replenishment emails also. I know some of you not very strong in English. Replenishment basically means top up. All right, you it's time to actually get restock. All right, especially hairspray facial cream shampoo soap this kind of run of the mill products. Or even e-grocery. Some of you have to do grocery shopping every week, right? So, you might want to send an email. Hey, last time you bought this, and this. It's now going for discount. It's a little bit cheaper now. You might want to consider replenishing it. All right. But again, timing, very, very important. Okay. All right. Now, those of you, especially retail friends in retail, okay, you probably don't have their emails. Okay. You want to start connecting to them again. All right. You can, basically WhatsApp them to get their emails and do a bit of reactivation exercise. All right. So these people probably have not contacted you, have not give you a call for your retail shop. Never mind. All right. But you try and WhatsApp them and see, find out from them how you're doing, whatever, hey, we're actually going to give a string of very useful information from the email. If you want to opt in, ask them. Start building your customer database. And again, those of you who have loyalty program, they probably gave you the email already. Have you contacted them or not? Some examples. Lately, I when I see this, I am impressed. Like Nando's. It's been a while since I used the app to order any Nando's. All right, but Nando's, which we call the darling of the digital marketing world. A lot of my samples is Nando's. They did something like, get a free chili, if you, tell us that you are vaccinated. Just share us a screenshot. All right. But one extra thing that they do is they remind you how they got your email in the first place. All right. So it's very nice and very subtle, but it's an excuse to get people reactivated using email. Now, another one is Doctor on Call. All right. Doctor on Call was last time I actually bought a COVID-19 check package from them before. So they got my email, they basically encouraged me to come back. All right, maybe you need some other services that they can provide. All right, give you voucher to attract you back. So again, put 2 call to action. 1 call to action, use this coupon at the checkout. Or, use your RM10 now. 2 different call to actions. Why? Because they're actually testing which one actually gets the most reaction. Right, confirmation email. All right, order confirmation, purchase information, delivery information. This is something that you want to send. Example, KFC does it very well. I think key point here is you make sure how the product looks like and remind them. I tell you, on the average, every person nowadays are those that are actively shopping online. On the average, every time they get parcel, they're going to get 5, 6 different parcels. They can't even remember where they bought it from. So you want order confirmation or you want to say delivery confirmation, make sure you have a picture of the product that you sent to them. Then they will know, this one is from you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Avoid spammy words in subject lines. Okay. And, these are like the most popular spammy words that you should not use in your subject line. And people basically use emojis in the subject line to attract attention. All right. So no spammy words to avoid the spam filter. Emoji your subject lines to get people to pay attention to your subject line. And it depends on your subject line to attract them to actually click and open and see. Of course, again, it depends on your business. Right? If your business is maybe, a bit serious, then emojis are probably not nice lah. But again, there are many different emojis. Just pick the related emojis that is to your business. That's good enough. You're not being too casual. It's okay. All right. Okay, so this is just a website that you can find emojis to put in your email titles, and making it good for the mobile, email size, and attachments. So your mobile phone, a lot of people check email on mobile. So there is an argument out there whether you want to use HTML or plain text email. All right. Now, both serve different purposes. If you are a very visual product, okay, or e-commerce business, you focus on HTML emails because they allow you to put a picture of your product. You need to sell visually. But there is no one in the world that tells you you cannot mix both emails. Let's say you have a thread of 5 welcome emails. One of the email there is actually a plain text email. You can, because it gives a different feeling. It is actually more personalized conversation. People tend to focus a little bit better on what you're trying to say. All right. And, you get less technical complications as well. All right. And practice good formatting. We are not robot. Okay. So please don't put emails. Please don't do emails like the left. All the text inside there, all the links inside there. But, people cannot even read. What is it? There's so many things to scan. Lazy to read. Now, if you space it out, you use, certain special symbols, it's so much easier to read, guys. So I think Wong was saying, the robot-generated emails tend to look like this on the left. Now you know the reason why. Actually, if I edit a bit, it's not too bad. Okay. Here's an email design tool that I use myself. All right. I am also a streamer. I am a game streamer. So I actually do newsletters to promote my latest live stream, introduce new games and stuff like that. So I use this. I use this to design my emails for, HTML and also plain text. All right. So you're saying, video, how to put video? Video, how to put inside a plain text email? You cannot, but you can only share a link. That's better than none. All right. Okay. So you can test your emails. Let's say, you're not sure your email can pass the spam filter or not. Right? So once you're done with your email and everything, okay, you can use your email and send it, all right, into a tester email here. All right, so there's one email here that you can actually send your email straight inside there, and they will give you a summary, okay, how to improve your email so that you can avoid the spam box better. All right. And of course, again, should you use an email service provider? All right. It's good because email service provider generally have better tools and setup to actually help you avoid spam filters. All right, so do invest some time if your email database is huge. All right, and you really need a lot of features, and you need to really need to improve your open rate and also, you know, your click-through rate by using different methods. Some of you might be keen to actually test a few different call to actions as well. All right, so something for you to consider, yeah? All right, you want some good samples, you can go to reallygoodemails.com. There's a lot of samples there. All right, thank you emails, welcome emails, specific industry emails. Oh my God, guys, you should really check it out. No, don't worry, guys. I will basically share a few links inside the, you know, the Facebook chat, okay, later. But, you know, there are references out there, okay? Don't worry, yeah? How to, you know, grab emails from your website. Okay, so put an opt-in form in your website footer. Do a surprise pop-up after 5 seconds, all right, if you're keen. All right, host giveaways. Do a contest. Yeah, all right, so very popular method, and I think you can see a lot of big brands are doing this. All right, so yeah, so comment on this article, you know, follow on Twitter. Yeah, you can take the opportunity to actually build up your followers on your social media as well. All right, so remind them, hey, you know, you are only how many likes away, all right, from unlocking the next tier of awards. You can actually do a tiered giveaway, especially when you guys have very young audiences. They want a sense of achievement as a group, a sense of achievement as a group. Okay, so it's like community building. You can actually use that as well. All right, but again, don't forget, you're not just giving away things. You want them to come to your shop and buy something. So after finishing the contest, maybe you're giving away something that is from your store, a 1 year worth supply of something. All right, and you probably want to, you know, remind them, hey, you know what, we're sorry you didn't win, but you can actually get this product at a discounted price from our website. Hey, you know, actually something for you to get them to, you know, buy something from your website. Return sales. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting sharing from Miss Wandi today. Yeah, a lot of information. Okay, so thank you so much for her sharing. But last but not least, as you all can see on the screen here, learn digital marketing with BMC training. So there are some contacts that you can actually check out on Miss Wandi. Yeah, get connected with her, as well as like for information. Or she also have like her YouTube, the streaming game streaming site. Yeah, on that one. Okay, so for those that ask a lot of information, yeah, we have 2 more speakers coming up with us, and Ms. Wani will come back to the screen to answer some of the questions at the end of the Q&A session. And right now, we will have Ms. Wani to be take some rest first. I'll re-invite you later on. Thank you again. Okay, thank you. And right now, we have our next speaker of the day. Yeah, so let's invite Mr. Jeffri. Yes, hi, Mr. Jeffri.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
You hear me fine?
Yeah, that's all. It's fine. So I will do a quick background introduction of you to the audience over here. Yeah. So Mr. Jeffri here, as you all can see on the screen, he's actually from Engine Miller. So he's a seasoned digital enthusiast and technology entrepreneur with most 2 decades of on-ground experience. He helps businesses to solve their challenges using technology. So he's the founder of Tenure Group of companies, so focusing on like consulting, UI, UX, software development, email marketing. That's why he's here to share experience with us. Yeah, so these businesses serve both retail and corporate clients as well, locally and regionally. So normally during his free time, he also continues to learn and improve in his personal development, and he's always very happy to discuss over a cup of tea. So I'm sure he will share his contact later on. Yeah, so right now I'll pass the session to Mr. Jeffri to share with us his experience on email marketing. The time is all yours.
Thank you, Jaja, and thank you, Sidec, for inviting me to share a little bit this afternoon. So I think, Wani, you did an amazing job covering the entire end-to-end spectrum, right? So I think what I'll try to do in my slides today, I've been given 30 minutes. I will try to reinforce the whys and the hows specifically today in my session for the next half an hour. And I think we have another speaker, Andrew. I'll let him cover maybe the examples, right? So that we all get a broad sort of like topic that we can take away from today's session. So I'll just share my screen before I move on. 1 second. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Fine.
Yeah, we can see your screen, but not with the presentation slides. Might need to pull it out here.
Hold on, 1 second, yeah.
Technical errors. Everyone, yeah, stay cool.
Okay, yeah, good, yeah. And the best part is we did a rehearsal. Can you see it fine now?
No, not really. It might need to reshare again the screen.
Oh, yeah.
On the, click on the share.
Yeah, I have.
One more time.
Let me share that again.
Okay.
Okay, now you see, hold on. Can you see it now?
Yes, yeah, it's good now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that took away 3 minutes of my time anyway. Yeah. So what I'll do today is I think I'll touch a little bit of the fundamentals of email marketing and some best practices. I do understand that some of you are new to email marketing, and there are some in the audience today that have also quite advanced users. So I'll try to address that. So a little bit of introduction. My name is Jeffri, and I am the fleet commander from Engine Mailer. So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, we are actually a Malaysian-based company, and we are a platform provider, and we compete with the global email service providers out there, right? So I think just to get the continuation to what Wadi was saying earlier about is email still important, right? Yeah, we spoke about the importance of email and all the other digital channels. But from a volume standpoint, these are just some data statistics to share with all of us here. There are 2.4 billion emails sent every second. This is a global number, yeah. So imagine the number of emails that float through the internet on a daily basis, and this. In turn, at the end of today's session, I want to tie it up with how we get those emails into the inbox as well. I see one of the questions that was repeated earlier is like, how do we make sure that we avoid our emails being put into spam, right? So the fact that I'm trying to get across here is email numbers are growing on a year-on-year basis, and the applications of email are also growing on a day-to-day standpoint. That's a trend that we see, right? So if you ask us if email is the only option out there for communication, my answer is no. But email is the most effective when it comes to return of investments, right? So when you talk about numbers in terms of ROIs, these are just some very quick statistics just to show or reinforce that email is still relevant today, right? So both B2B and B2C companies at the end of the day use email marketing as part of their content marketing strategy, right? So for B2B, it's a very high percentage, it's 77%. Again, I think when you talk about email marketing, it's all about we must understand the difference between outbound marketing and inbound marketing, where inbound marketing is very content related. So you use content to drive traffic and then go through the digital journey in terms of purchase, right? Which I'll share with you shortly. And 89% of marketers still use email as a primary lead generation channel. So I think email is not the only channel, but you need to figure out how to use email with the rest of the channels out there. How you use emails to work with social media, for example. How do you use emails to work with your SEO when someone comes to your website, for your WhatsApp channels, right? So there are many ways to make sure that these digital tools out there sort of like coexist together. Email automation, for example, one of the examples that Wani mentioned earlier was cart abandonment, for example. So those things work. Sometimes up to a point, at some point, I think for us, especially in the IT field and digital field, we purposely go to an online store, sort of like put something into the cart, then don't check out, hoping that you will get a 25% discount tomorrow, right? So that's how automation works. And finally, we talk about personalization. Today, I think, the truth being told, we all get so many emails. The key is to send the right content to the right person at the right time, right? So it's about hyper personalization. When you use emails, how do you personalize that to send the right products, right promotion, right information, right advice, to the right people? So those will then increase in terms of your open rates and ultimately your conversion rates, right? So understanding, I think Wani did a great job explaining this, but just to summarize, the context of emails today, most of us use Gmail and corporate emails to actually do corporate emails. So in the case of email marketing, we normally quantify it into three very distinct categories, right? The first one, as mentioned earlier, is more a campaign side. So this is, I think, marketing. You want to send that same message to 5,000 people, or you want to send that same message to 5 million people. It doesn't really matter. So you have a template and you click a single button, it actually sends the messages out. So that's for marketing and basically awareness building, right? The second ones are notifications. Notifications, if you look at industry trends, the way we look at it, more and more people are starting to use email for business notifications and automations. So for example, if you sign up, somebody signs up to your website, you are sending them a thank you email. They buy a product from you, there's a thank you product. You might send them the invoices online. So notification emails are normally triggered in real time based on an event or an activity that happens on the back end. So in e-commerce, I think very, very common you get this for purchase confirmations, or you might have business rules saying that for very advanced users, if somebody has come to my product page, say product A for 3 times, I want to send him a promotion because he's obviously very, very interested. I'm trying to coax him over to do that purchase transaction, right? And the other part is when you talk about full marketing automation. Automation is where you program very specific series of emails or customer journeys. And when, for example, when someone signs up to your website or someone completes one of those clickbait submissions on your website, you collect their email. On day 1, you might tell them that, send me a thank you email on day 1. Day 2, you want to tell them a little bit about the benefits of the product. Day 5, you want to tell them something else. So you pre-program all this so that those journeys are very specific towards how the customer would want to engage with your company or products, right? So again, automation is all about having that right journey for the right people, multiple journeys for multiple people, right? So I think the whole key about emails is we are talking about, let's do this. When you talk about marketing emails, it is a matter of conversion rates. So you might send to, say, 10,000 people. The difference between a 5% open rate and a 12% open rate and a 25% open rate means a lot. But the amount of work that you do behind the scenes, whether you are sending it to 5,000 or 50,000 people, is a fixed amount. You still need to create your newsletter, you still need to design, you still need to think about where your CTAs are. So before we talk about email, we really need to understand the type of customers and basically a typical customer journey. So always put yourself in the shoes of the customer, right? So understanding your customer journeys will be just a very simple funnel. I'm sure all of us have seen this funnel everywhere, and Wani just went through that very briefly, or actually in quite detail with you guys as well. So the awareness stage, that is where a customer comes in. You spend all this time building your website, and you've gone to social media and telling everyone, oh, my product's so great, why don't you consider buying this thing, right? So on the awareness stage, what happens is when someone is interested in your product, that is the first entry point of you collecting their email addresses. So just a fact, yeah, it costs 95% more to acquire a new customer compared to trying to retain a customer that you already have. So whether you're building your websites, you're spending your resources on search engine optimization, you are basically paying maybe Google ads to drive traffic to your website, you're running some Facebook campaigns to actually talk about your product. These are all paid activities for you to reach out there. But the moment someone gives you their email, that means they are really considering buying from you, you have him for life, right? So thereafter, even tomorrow, if you want to run your campaigns again, you don't need to pay all these ad networks anymore. You already have his email and he's given you consent to actually reach out to him. So it starts with the thank you emails and the welcome emails. And there might be certain things, as you said, you saw earlier, maybe give us your email and download this ebook, or give us an email and enjoy 10% off, your next purchase. And thereafter, when you go into the consideration and conversion stage, is where then you start sending them content that's related to maybe some free trials or your special promotions. And as you go down this funnel, you have more and more information about your customer. You probably know his gender or what products he likes. You start sending him cart abandonment emails. So these are just some of the examples for you to convert them into customers, right? And once you've converted them into customers they bought, then of course, apart from sending those notifications and statements and all those other emails, you can also use emails to actually get feedback from them, like surveys. You might want to send promotion emails, for example, recurring. You might run a service that needs to be replenished every 3 months, for example. Or you have data on their birthdays. You have data on their spend patterns. But the whole idea is to use emails to engage them throughout this entire customer journey, right? So depending on which part of the stage, you've got to send them the right kind of email content, right? So some of the best practices, I'll spend a little bit more time on this slide, given that the introductions have been done earlier. Grow and clean your email list, right? So if you are new to email marketing, your email marketing cannot start unless you have a database, right? So 2 categories. Number 1 is you're not starting with any database, of which I saw some of the comments earlier on the chat box. It's like, yes, let's grow this organically. Always have entry points into any of your digital channel to collect email addresses of people or customers or prospects whom are interested in your products. Right? This will ultimately lead to, the question is, how do I get those email into the inbox? Because it's all about engagement rates, right? Rule of thumb here is don't buy databases and don't sell databases, right? Treat that like your main asset, because those are your customers. When you start having your customers, when you want to start doing marketing, have some sort of profiling, in e-commerce platforms, that this person has bought certain types of products. So that he might be interested in bags, or this person might be interested in maybe clothes, right? So there are ways that you can segment your customers, so that very often when you want to send marketing material, not everyone will be interested in for a bag, for example. If you're sending a handbag, don't send it to me, right? Because I'm not a consumer. But having said that, data will tell if I normally buy handbags for my wife, for example, right? So always do your segmentation. And segmentation can come in many forms. Which did they buy from you online? Or if you are in retail, you might have multiple outlets. Which outlet did they come and consume your products or come and have a meal, right? What did you order? Are you a F&B person? Are you a drink person? So have the right segmentation put in place. Once you've got your database in place, very often for email marketing, do not think of email marketing as a one-hit wonder kind of thing. So what I call one-hit wonder is, if I have a promotion today, I decide to send email. If I don't, then I'll wait 3 months from now, I will send them. So I'm only bombarding you with promotions that can sell. So set goals for your marketing campaign, and goals can come in multiple forms. Number 1 is you can set goals. Okay, if I'm going to take this seriously, I am having now maybe 300 emails in my database. In 6 months, I'm trying to come up with a plan so that I hit maybe 1,000 email addresses. And what do I need to do digitally in order to meet those goals? And the other one would be maybe I send out to 500 people my emails right now. I'm getting a conversion rate about 5%, right? So what can I do, right? Whether it's to do with improving my products or maybe targeting a better audience that could be interested in my product, how can I get this 5% up to 8%, or how can I drive it to 15%? So set those goals so that you realize that in digital marketing, everything is about analytics, and you have all the data to help you make those decisions, right? And a little bit on compliance. Even though you are having opt-in consents in terms of people signing up to your product, there are certain things in email that, I mean, if you look at canned spam policies, one of the things is an opt-out policy. Proper platforms will allow customers to just click, I would like to unsubscribe, and the backend system will manage all these things automatically for you, right? So, I mean, platforms like ours, we will not only remove them, but we create a suppression list for you so that in future, if you try to import these names into the platform again, we are telling you that, this person has already opted out, so let's not send him any more newsletters. This is ultimately related to the reputation to your customers, because if you allow someone that has opted out to receive further communications from you, you know what's going to happen. They're not, 5 years ago, they will call the companies and start telling you off and writing you nasty emails. Today, they just put report as spam. The moment you report as spam and you get too many report as spams, your reputation goes down. And once your reputation goes down, the emails will start popping into the spam folder, or even worse, if the spam counts are too high, it doesn't even get into the spam folder. That means the ISPs will just drop your traffic, right? So always follow the best practices as far as opt-outs are concerned. From a content standpoint, I guess this is all. Today is all about designing simple content, right? Up to a few years back, you get newsletters that are very long, a lot of content, a lot of products. And when you look at it, you're like, wow, there's so many things to digest here. So the trend today, when you talk about best newsletters that do conversion, is all about keep it simple. A very simple message, maybe one this picture, and very simple content, right? So the content must be offers or advice or material that is aligned to the needs of your users. What did they sign up for? What are their preferences? So align content with content marketing as well. I think the next course in Sidec's event, I think I heard on Thursday, is about content marketing. Because if you write a blog article, for example, on your website, you can always send out a summary of that blog article onto your newsletters to drive more traffic to that content. So it's all about how you regurgitate and how you repurpose content in terms of EDMs, right? Second one is, I think, about CTAs, right? When someone gets an EDM, what is the first thing that you want them? You want them to convert, right? So instead of having a lot of links, click here for this, click here for that, all those journeys can be split out into multiple emails, but each one of these emails just have very clear messaging and at least one, I would recommend one, max 2 buttons for them to click on. So again, location of buttons, color of buttons, so those can be done. I mean, if you do A/B testing, or if you test your EDMs across a base, you will know which the audience prefers. So over time, you sort of get to a point where you understand which are the best designs or basically content architecture of your newsletters. Yeah. Third rule, I think that's the second last one I want to touch today as far as content is concerned. Please don't do hard sell. Right? Hard sell doesn't work anymore. So I saw some of the comments, you talk about subject lines and putting free stuff there. Today is all about education. It's all about building that connection, right? Building that customer experience with your audience. So use emails. So if, say, I after the awareness drive I'm considering buying maybe a piece of apparel from you, right? So your content that you should be selling me it's about how good these apparels are. You talk about maybe they are green apparels, or you talk about how these things have helped communities out there. Use it for brand awareness, because when the time is right, I say when I want to buy an apparel, I say this is the brand that I want to buy it for. So you couple it with only that 10% of promotions is basically to push someone to make that purchase decision when the time is right. And I guess from a content standpoint, when you were sharing the inbox where you have 17,000, 20,000, at least a few hundred emails that are not read. So subject lines is the first line on the email where someone decides to open your email, right? So words like free, to be honest with you, don't work anymore. But what works today is basically the intent of the email. So if you are trying to educate them, make sure that the subject lines are very clear. We also have preview text normally when you talk about platform, because below the subjects, you probably have about 20, 30 words where you actually describe the email. You can personalize those preview texts. And finally, subject lines or even content, anything on the left-hand side of this is all about personalization today. So try to personalize that content for the audience and use stuff like emojis and all that to make it more, more fun and more engaging at the end of the day. So these are some of the best practices that you can put in place to actually start your email campaigns. And I wanted to share this as well. We have a lot of questions. I do full 2-3 hour sessions just to teach you how to get emails into the inbox, right? Because no matter what you do, no matter how many emails you send, no matter how good your content is, no matter if your emails don't get into the inbox, you're just wasting your time. I think that's fact number one, right? So, the most obvious thing, what Wani was sharing earlier is about, when you send that first email, always get them to whitelist you. But from a little bit of background as to how emails work or how anti-spam works, there is basically the IP side of things, and there is the domain side of things. Just remember two technical aspects, right? Number one is you send emails using an IP address. So platforms like Engine Mailer and like the rest of the ESPs, we have very, very good reputation IPs that we send from. And these IP addresses are constantly being monitored to make sure that they are not in any blacklist authorities or not in any spam list, right? But the most important thing today about getting the email into the inbox is not really our IPs. It's basically your domain reputation. So I still see a lot of us here. Sometimes we want to send an email. It's coming from marketing.company@gmail.com, right? So imagine sending Gmail an email from an ESP saying that they are not from Gmail, but you're sending it to Gmail. Immediately, Gmail say, hey, something is not right already. This guy is masking to be Gmail when the IPs are not Gmail. So long-term answer to this is, number one, send it from your corporate domain, because that will also build the brand awareness, right? And secondly is when you send it from a corporate domain, there are a lot of sort of like listeners around the internet that will say that, okay, abc.com has started sending emails, and over time the volumes are going up and up and up. So the reputation becomes good. The moment you achieve good sending reputation, your emails will forever pop into the inbox. This is it is not an overnight thing. Money cannot buy, but this is something that we will guide you in your journey, when you start jumping on Engine Mailer, because there are different considerations. If you are sending 100 emails, or if you're sending 100,000 emails, there are different practices to do around it, right? But generally, once you have a good IP and good reputation, the next one would be, I think, these are all just best guides, because your email might pop into the promotions tab in Gmail, for example, right? Although this is something that we cannot control. So subject lines important, avoid those spammy phrases. So keep it to the intent of the readers. Personalize, because the more personalization you do, the less these engines are going to see similarities, and the higher chance it is it's going to go into the inbox. So take, for example, if you are sending a notification email, Notifications are likely better chance to pop into the inbox because everyone has a personalized topic. Whereas if we talk about mass marketing, it's all about mass, the same content repeated to a large volume of senders, right? So do as much personalization as you can to the newsletter. I think today, while you have a single template, when we talk about images, right? Different recipients of that campaign can also see. So I might look at a yellow color shirt, whereas you might see a green color shirt, but it's part of the same campaign. So you can go to that level of sort of personalization if you have the right data points, right? Images, control the amount of images, don't overdo. In fact, keep it to one main image and maybe a couple of small images, because the more images you put in there, the more complex the newsletter becomes, and it picks up by all these engines out there. Yeah? The images, when you talk about the size of the newsletters, our best practice is we try to keep the newsletter size anywhere from 20 to no more than 60 KBs. When you use an ESP, it actually tells you when you create your content that the size of this newsletter is 60 KB or 50 KB. And if you do anything more than 80 or 100 KB, even if you go open your emails in Gmail, you'll notice that at some point it truncates the email off because they're only allowed to render X amount. And email providers, especially like all these Gmails and Outlooks and Yahoo, do not like large emails. So don't think that the more it is, the more time someone is going to spend on your newsletter, because they see it as a threat, sending them high volumes of email, and it can be seen as a DOS attack at the end of the day, right? A number of links, have some 2 or 3 links into the email. So try not to make emails with 20 or 30 hyperlinks for people to click on. HTML structure is a bit complex. I can't explain it to you right now, but generally all of the email providers out there will have very simple tools so that you drag and drop, and all these HTML structures and all that will already be part of the service that is being provided. And the last segmentation I've touched, header and footers, you talk about having unsubscribe links. You might want to put preview in browser links. So those are things that you can embed to actually encourage people to view your newsletters. And finally, what I mentioned, use a corporate email, right? So that's a little bit of guideline, and a little bit, I think I have about 10 minutes left just to touch a little bit about our platform. So what is Engine Mailer? We are a local Malaysian-based email service provider. It's on the cloud. So we provide all of our subscribers with tools for you to manage your database. I think that is the challenge number one. Before marketing is always managing the database, and a combination of both email marketing and transactional emails as part of our features. So we don't need to subscribe one platform for marketing, another platform for APIs, another platform for automation. It's all integrated into one. So I guess the tools that we use are very relevant. They're very new, and it's meant for the non-IT person to use, right? So these are some of the quick wins. Again, we have free accounts that you can go online and you can sign up. Some of the features that we have that I just wanted to pull out here that will help beginners or even intermediate users in terms of conducting your email marketing. First one, we talk about intelligent imports, right? It's because one of the biggest problems that I see or we observe on a day-to-day basis is the cleanliness of the email when you do your email marketing campaigns. So imagine now you started collating all of your emails. Say for example, for argument's sake, you have 10,000 emails that you've collected over a period of time, but you've never emailed them before, right? So what are the risks that's going to have of this email address? Because they could be someone filling up a form and one of your interns actually type it into Excel. So you get duplicate emails, you get wrong email formats because, say, for example, Jeffri at yahoo.com, and you miss out the dot, so it's Jeffri at yahoo.com. So these are all bad email addresses that should not even be in your distribution list when you start. So I think intelligent imports, what we do is whenever you have a list, just pop it into the system, do an import, and our system will automatically clean all these first layer problems for you at no cost. Yeah, because our platform, you can store unlimited subscribers. So once you can control the duplicates and you can control the bad emails is when you start then segmentizing them into the groups, right? So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you talk about segmentation. So our platform allows you to create groups and start assigning members to different groups, so that if you want to target them, if you wanted to target someone that's in KL, you can on the fly just select that group and target them without having to go to another platform and say, hey, can you export this list for me and then import that list again? You can actually do the targeting directly from our platform. On the top right, you talk about email cleansing. So I talk about the email cleansing as you import. Now we talk about email cleansing as you send. Because as you start sending the newsletters, you will realize that, especially corporate emails, people move companies, so emails are no longer valid, right? Or sometimes Gmail addresses no longer exist because you don't use it anymore. So as you send, the system will also clean all these hard bounces or spam complaints or newsletter unsubscribes and actually post them into a suppression list for you. So this is one of the USPs that we have on our platform, so that it enforces that you do not continue to send these people emails. Not only it gives you a better reputation, it also gives you saves you money at the end of the day. So if you don't want to send, somebody doesn't want it, why do you want to continue to send them the content, right? So ongoing cleansing is something that that a lot of our customers find very handy. We do as forms, online forms. We'll be launching our landing pages as well as part of our software function in a month and a half time. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to build forms, embed it into your website, or if you're running a retail outlet and you wanted, everybody is scanning QR in front of your counter right now, you still want to collect emails and maybe you want to give him a 5% discount on his purchase, put a QR code there, which is generated by our system. Click on this and it will launch a form on their phone. Just simply ask them for their name, email address, for example, and you said, okay, sign up to the newsletter, I'll give you this promo. Because thereafter, you already have his name and you can be smart about how you use that email to actually constantly communicate. I think the word here is to constantly engage with your consumers. So it's not a one-time and then I forget about you kind of business, right? And in terms of once you got your database clean, I think it's all about ready-made templates. We talk about how easy it is for someone to actually create the newsletters. Whilst Manu was showing earlier that you could go and design your templates in an external party and put it into platforms. So ESPs, we have a lot of ready-made templates, hundreds of templates that you can choose from. And because we are local, I think one of the differentiators that we have is also every time there's a local celebration, it could be Hari Raya, it could be Chinese New Year that is very specific to Malaysian, we will also release templates that will allow you to use that as part of your communications. And once you have the templates, as I mentioned earlier, you don't need to go and design your newsletter somewhere else. These are all tools that are available out there. Easily drag and drop images, any content that you want, and all of these things that you do as part of the platform is automatically optimized for mobile devices. You talk about the average consumer today, more and more people are engaging using their mobile phones. That trend was going very mobile and it went back to desktop a little bit because of the MCO, because a lot of people were sitting in front of their computers day on day. But even if you look at it, an average person opens an email right now about 1.7 times. So sometimes morning using the desktop, then in the evening using the mobile phone. So you must have all this data analytics to know that regardless of how they interact with your email, your content must come out correct, right? So mobile responsive. And I think we have tools, we mentioned earlier, marketing automation tools and autoresponders that you can actually use and program your customer journeys in the platform. All of these features, which I've mentioned to you, including customer service, are built into Engine Mailer. So you can actually come to a single integrated platform to achieve all these things that you're doing. So just a little bit before I wrap off, I think we are pushing for time. Yeah, and Andrew.
Yes, indeed we are.
Yeah. So there's a code here for people that need this. Just go to enginemailer.com when you sign up for an account and use this code, which is DMC Mailer. It will unlock the standard service because we have a 500 per day limit. If you go for a free forever plan, this will just unlock that limit and give you up to 10,000 free emails per month. Yeah. So do that. And also as part of our journey, we do offer one-on-one consultation. So our customer success team will come to you and we can arrange for one-on-one sessions. We also have an affiliate program. If you like what we do, or if you feel that you want to start promoting or helping us spread the word about Engine Mailer, sign up. And every one of your affiliates that sign up, we do give you a 30% payout. So this can cover for your email marketing costs. And I guess that's all I have for today. I might have overshot slightly. I apologize for that. But that's all I wanted to share this afternoon. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Miss. Oh, I can hear myself, yeah? So thank you so much, Mr. Jeffri. All right, so like for those that actually saw the slides earlier on, so those are like contact information that you can actually get in touch and then grab the affiliate opportunity as well as like to unlock, yeah? So for those that if you don't get the information, don't worry. After this session, Sidec will actually upload the video into Sidec TV. And some of you are asking for the slides, and all speakers today are very willing to share on the slides, which Sidec will also upload it together with the video as well, so you can actually grab from there. So do check out Sidec website for more information. Yeah. For now, thank you so much, Mr. Jeffri. I will re-invite you for the Q&A sessions, so you take some rest first. Thanks for sharing. Very interesting. Okay. So next up, we have our last speaker of today, Mr. Andrew, to be on the screen. Hi, Andrew.
Hello. Wow, the standards of the speakers, the content is so awesome. I enjoyed the whole,
The
1
whole
hour
thing,
plus.
right?
Yes.
And we are very like looking forward to hear from you as well. So right now the time is for Mr. Andrew. He's from ANTZ Digital. Yeah. So a little bit of background. He has spent across 30 years work in print media industry, and he co-founded a web design agency as well as the head of sales and marketing of one of Malaysia's leading cybersecurity company. And Move On Email has been like key in helping his former company to gain 30% of uplift in terms of renewers, lay down a foundation for Facebook ads trainer, as well as to achieve like a USD 2.2 million in revenue per email subscriber constantly per month. So this is very interesting. So he turns his attention to help e-commerce businesses to grow as well in terms of sales, cash flow, by turning like one-time buyers into repeat customer. So for now, let's hear from Mr. Andrew about email marketing. I'll pass the time over to you.
Chacha, thank you so much. Thank you, Sidec, for inviting us. One thing for sure. Okay, let me start the share. There you go. Okay. So that. Okay. Oh, all right. We had a trial run, and still, you still have technical glitches. But today I'm going to talk about. You have gone through two presentations, awesome presentation. If you missed it, please watch the replay. One gives you a big overview of emails, its relevance to today's market. And Jeffri has talked about the technical aspects of email marketing. Both are necessary. And I want to basically, for my session, I want to talk about the usages and also the approaches that you can use with email marketing. So it's going to be something like so nothing to worry about. So I'm going to skip this because Jetta did such a great job with introduction. Honestly speaking, I couldn't have done that any better. So I'm not going to try and top that. But we're going to talk about three things. One is, who do you send emails to? The second thing is about writing your emails. I'll quickly run through 6 parts of emails, especially for e-commerce. So the session today is especially for e-commerce, talking about campaign ideas, and finally the 7 must-have automations, most of them which Yuee and also Jeffri have touched upon earlier. So I'm going to give you some examples and all those things. But before that, just a quick understanding of the audience today. who has been sending emails, who are already running your e-commerce store, and who have been sending emails already. Just type 1. Just get an idea so that I can tweak the presentation according to your needs. Just type 1 if you already been sending emails. So obviously, if you don't have 1, then probably you have not. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got some experienced operators here. So awesome. Okay, let's see whether some of these insights I'm going to share maybe helps you or give you a better understanding of how you can actually leverage on emails. So let's start with the first one. Who do you send emails to? Now, generally, there are 3 categories of visitors to your website, to your e-com store. One who sort of stumbled into your website, the other one who subscribed to your list, and but did not buy, all right? And finally, your customers, okay? Somebody who bought something from you. So let's start the first one. So the people who stumble on your website, generally, basically, they come in through either your search, your ads, or either through word of mouth, okay? So they don't know much about you, but somebody recommended, or they did a search and through SEO, your website popped up, okay? And then they click on it and they go to your site. So the next thing is what you can do, for example, if they're not on your list, obviously they're not on your list. You want to use pop-ups, like one you have mentioned, either exit pop-ups or surprise pop-ups, for example, with incentive to capture their emails. That's the first level or first interaction. Now, how do you capture the emails? You can either make an offer to give an incentive, all right? So it's like you've probably heard of lead magnets, for example. So in e-com, you can actually make an offer for a discount, for a coupon. I will show you some examples. How do you do this? And basically to do an exchange for the name and email address. Or if you can, stretch it to get their birthdays, because I think one you mentioned about being personalized, your emails or personalizing your emails, and even your mobile number, so that you can also pair it with SMS marketing, okay? The primary objective at this stage is to capture the email address, all right? And the secondary objective with your pop-ups, for example, on your website, it would be nice if there's any impulse purchases. They may look at it, okay, the discount sounds, the free shipping, for example, or the discount sounds good, I'm going to buy, right? That would be a nice secondary benefit of doing so. But end of the day, it's all about trying to get an email so that you can establish a relationship with your audience, to build a bond, to be able to tell your side of the story, so that the know, like, and trust element gets elevated. Okay. So this is one example, a pop-up from Dolce & Gabbana. I've been wanting to say this thing for so long. It sounds so cool. And in Dolce's case, right, they will talk about sending, for example, sign up for updates. So you notice that besides asking for email address, they do upfront segmentation, like Jeffri has mentioned. They ask you to select either your women, men, and also the language. That is one level of segmentation that they can do at the pop-up level already. So that when they send email related to men products, for example, obviously they send to men groups, and then women would have the other accessories and all those things. Okay, so that's one example. The second example is Tommy Hilfiger. In this case, you notice that they use a 20% off on your first purchase. So that's another nice incentive for a casual browser to sign up by giving their email address, right? And then you have this little exclusivity kind of nudge and say, join the club, because people want to be part of a community. People want to be part of a club, all right? So languaging or copywriting for your pop-ups are very important, okay? And then finally, you have this Gayam. Gayam is basically a yoga-centric store. They sell mats, they sell meditation products and all those things. But take note that in Gayam's case, they actually, the interesting thing they did with the pop-up is they use a different form factor. It's not your standard square or rectangle, but they actually made it, put some effort into designing the pop-up so that it jumps out and is also in line with their brand positioning, also, and also their brand design. Okay, so in Gayam's case, they talk about staying in the know with deals and discounts. So they did not offer any discounts, but in Gayam's case, understandable because people who come to this store or stumble upon this store are not your general, unless you are in yoga or you have an interest in meditation, very unlikely that you come to this store. So they know your pop-up content has to be relevant to your visitors. Okay. So the next category will be talking about subscribe but did not buy. So let's say they subscribe to your newsletters, but if through a period of time they have not bought anything. Okay. So they do not commit to any purchases. So this group of customers at this stage, they're generally lukewarm. They are trying to understand what you do. They're trying to say, okay, fine, you may have an offer that is interesting, but I'm not ready yet. Okay, but they will still interact or either keep on receiving your email addresses, contents, for example. So your role in this group is to nurture them with content, to give them thematic offers. Okay, for example, like if you're Malaysia Day, for example, it could be a payday kind of offer. And you then monitor for engagement rates. Now, why is this important? Because they have signed up they have indicated interest in your brand by signing up with your email address. But if they have not opened your emails at all, or they have not interacted with your emails, have not clicked your emails, for example, this is where you then start to do your cleansing or your email hygiene maintenance, like Jeffri has mentioned, where you then segregate people who have not opened for 30 days, or people have not opened or clicked for the last 60 days. That means they may not be interested, right? So you can either do win-back campaigns to get them in, or eventually you may want to unsubscribe them yourself so that your emails will only be sent to people who really want to receive your emails. Not only that, who wants to read your emails and interact with your emails. So email hygiene list can be used in this case. For this group, it's very important. Okay. So you got to be prepared to play the long game. And the good thing with emails, like 1 year, and also Jeffri has mentioned, when you advertise and you get all the all the email lists in or subscribers in, you spend one time, but they're on your list. And until and unless they unsubscribe, they will still remain on your list. So now you can continue to send emails to them, to interact with them and all those things. And it practically costs you nothing. Jeffri has Angel Mailer has a great offer. You can send 10,000 emails a month, and it's practically for free. So it's zero cost to you, right? So one thing that can be useful for you when it comes to dealing with this group who subscribe but did not buy is to look at, flash sales, for example, or impulse buys offers, right? So these are the people that they are on the fence. So all you need is sometimes to excite them with new offers, new flash sales, to trigger them to just make that purchase. So some of the examples, for example, you look at Hush Puppies. They can do 30% off. You can look at, this is a brand called Desimoto. Flash sales 50% off, or even Collins Street Bakery, for example. So these are the emails that you can send to the group that has subscribed but did not buy. So you can you don't send to everybody. So you can, the good thing about emails is I can be as precise as possible if your data is accurate to send the relevant emails to the right people. Okay. And finally, then you have your customers. Now this is easy, right? They are your warm audience. They already know you, they like you, they bought something for you already. It's just very clear. So the focus is to increase the commercial side of it, is to increase and also shortening the lifetime value of the customers, right? Increasing the lifetime value in the sense that you want to make them new offers, you want to get them to buy more, right? And shortening the LTV, for example, is to increase the level of frequency. Okay, so those are the levers that you can play when you're dealing with your customers by using emails. And opportunities, obviously, in this case, you can cross sells, you can do upsells, you can even do subscription if you have any. Okay, right. So customers, you got to make them feel like they're part of your community. All right. End of the day, the guy who's making that purchase is a human being, and it is nice to be acknowledged as part of your circle. Okay, so what you do with email is the nurturing part is to basically give them new information, give them exclusive information so that they feel that they are part of that club. Okay, and value-added content, for example, that can help improve their lives. That's one of them. And it's also great for product testing or even new launches. Because they are already part of your buyers group, you can then, for example, communicate with them through email and says, hey, we're looking at something like this. We've got a new product and it's supposed to do this. What do you think of it? You can do a poll with them, but you don't do a poll with people who subscribe but did not buy. Neither do you do a poll for people who just browsing, all right? But this group, because they are your customers, they have an extra incentive, okay? And especially if you treat them well, they will treat you back well as well, okay? So you can make them your promoter, and you can do stuff like priority sales. So whenever you want to do a launch and you want to have you want to be able to collect huge numbers of sales upfront so that you can actually use it as testimonials and use it in your marketing or your advertising, for example, talk to these people, talk to your customers, give them extra incentive to actually make that purchase so that now your launch basically takes off faster. So you can do stuff like value content and sales, right? Like Vero does, they give you content in emails. So not all emails need to be selling emails. For your customers, you need to do extra miles, for example, like, even, what brand is this? Harry's, for example, grown man's guide to getting a baby face. Now, you can obviously slip in a link that links them to a product that's relevant to this content. That's one way of doing it, but it's very subtle, like Wong says. You don't have to be upfront selling all the way. Provide content and then give them a link for them to take the next step, okay? Upgrades is another option. Basically what they bought, how long they've been using it. So ideas like, restock emails is another form of upgrades. Upgrading to the next level is another form of approach that you could use with your emails. So I'll talk about, early bird sales, priority sales. These are the things that you can do for your customers. They are your special group. So treat them nice and treat them well. Give them the priorities upfront. Okay. Make sure that, for example, like circles, they call it circle makers, right? So make sure that you address them as part of your group. So now we move to the next part, which is talking about writing your emails. Okay. Jeffri has touched upon it briefly. I think Yuee has done that. The idea of write emails is you start with only one big idea. Okay. And then this one big idea, also the next thing you want to do is basically you want to also, whenever you write an email, you want your reader to feel, you want to know what you want your reader to feel, to experience or to do before you write the email. So you get one big idea, you want the experience that you want to create for them. And then the third one is the next thing they need to do. The one thing to do, which is either to click the button or your link. Okay. It does not necessarily to a sale. It could a sales page. It could be the YouTube video. It could be a video content that you have created, for example. It could be a tutorial. That is also a CTA and also a form of engagement for your emails. And most importantly, keep it simple. All right. Jeffri has mentioned that the trend is moving towards simplicity. I mean, because there's just too much noise out there now. It is end of the day, it's just an email. So keep it simple. All right. So the 6 parts of the emails that you need to be aware of, and Jeffri has touched it a bit earlier. Your from name, okay, is basically to allow you to create familiarity, and also you can use it as a pattern interrupt. Now, how do you use it as a pattern interrupt? I did a case for a client. They were using a company name all this while when they sent an email. But when there was a time when they wanted to do a promotion and it was tied to the payday promotion, I basically suggested them that they change the corporate name into a payday deal instead. That actually grew the opens by 300%. And then the number of click-through actually grew by 1,003, because once you get more people to open, naturally you would have, assuming your content is correct or done right, your click-through would be higher also. So your from name is important, okay, because it gives you familiarity. Then the next thing moving down is your subject line and also your pre-header text. Okay, Jeffri has touched upon the importance of subject lines. The pre-header text can be used intelligently to support your subject line. So you got to be creative with this. And the from name, subject line, and pre-header text are the key determinants of your open rates or the success of your open rates of your emails. These are the 3 components. Okay. Then you move into your content. Now, content, your first paragraph would be your hook. You create something that gets them to want to read to the next paragraph. That's the art of copywriting. Okay, first paragraph leads you to the second paragraph, leads you to the third paragraph, and so on and so forth. Okay, then your body content is your story, your context, your offer. So in e-commerce emails, primarily it's going to be a lot more visual. Okay, so your hero product is very important. The positioning of your hero products is very important in your content itself. And then finally, the CTA. Okay, go to the shop, click on this, get your special coupon, for example, or use your special coupon, for example. When you have touched about that, one single CTA will be sufficient at most, like Jeffri has suggested, 2. Okay, nothing more, because your emails are supposed to be simple. Give them your context, what you want them to do, tell them how they do it, give them the link for them to do it, and that's it. All right. So what sort of campaign ideas that you want to that you can leverage for your emails? Okay, this is one of the things that a lot of people get stuck with. First, the other one is writing an email. The second thing is, what do I do? How do I run it? So here are some examples that you can use for your campaign ideas. Now, for every single campaign, it is wise to run between 3 to 5 emails for that particular campaign. Now, the reason why is this. Not everybody will open on the first email, primarily because everybody is busy. If you, depending on the time you send, for example, they may not open it, or they may not be in the right frame of mind to open it. But by virtue of you spreading that emails, and you can use different angles. Okay, the art is not to send the same email 5 times. The art is to send different angles of the emails, but asking you to do the same thing 5 times. All right, so you can run a series of emails for this. Then you can also be, there are some examples that one year shared. You can play around with email campaigns themes. Birthday is an obvious case, right? You can also look at little known days like, hamburger days, hot dog days, for example, and figure out a way to tie in into your promotion or your product that you may want to sell. You may not necessarily need to run a promotion, but it could tie to a product that you have that is consistent with the theme of the day. So basically use this as an excuse for you to just send an email to them. Okay. So having variety in your email content helps, because the emails is supposed to either educate, to entertain, or also to inspire. These are the 3 things that the emails need to do. So the more emails you send, the more revenue you make. Why? Because you have increased your touch point with your users or your readers. So finally, we're talking about the 7 must-have automations. Okay, one you have touched about it, and she actually has a few more examples. So I'm going to just do the 7 that I think is relevant that you can start off immediately. Okay, so the first one obviously is your welcome email, and I put in some examples here that to give you an idea. Your welcome email doesn't need to be that boring. Okay, you can write short copy. You don't have to write long paragraphs. But the idea is you're going to create some sort of fun, be entertaining for them. Okay, so, and it's also representation of your brand. Okay, so Fable has one, Dims has simple welcome emails. Even Pack Help, for example. So these are the examples, and you will get them in the slides when Sidec shares them with you. The second thing is browse abandonment. Okay, so when you do browse abandonment, basically is they come to your website, probably look at certain page or probably look at certain sites, and they leave. So your browse abandoned emails are basically, now this one will only work if you have captured the emails upfront. So if somebody who does not give you an email, that's impossible because there's no email for me to send anyways. But if I sign up and from time to time I come to the page again, this email can trigger them primarily to remind them that, hey, you've been looking at this page. Would you be interested? Right? So these emails can use as trigger points. An example could be like this, still thinking about it, or either if you go to the page and you look at certain bags, for example, and you can just be, you kind of have some cheeky emails. They send that, hey, did you leave something behind? Right? So these are the things that actually drives people to want to read your emails, because it's not your traditional, hey, here's what you want and here's what we can do, right? So think about it, be creative with it, have fun with it, okay? So cart abandonment, 7 out of 10 stats have shown that people who put things on the cart did not buy. And one year have said it very clearly, like, some of them actually use your cart as a wish list, collection of wish lists. So that happens. So your cart abandonment sequence, for example, can be used to actually remind them the items again. So the berries approach could be something that, like one year have suggested, the berries approach could be something you can do. Or you can just remind them that these are the things that they have put in your cart, but you have not taken the next step. Okay, it does not necessarily always be giving them discounts. Jeffri has mentioned certain digital people like us, we will purposely add to cart without transacting, knowing that very well the next day we're going to have an email that's going to offer discount. You do not necessarily need to do that. Okay, you just need to remind them, talk about the benefits, talk about the things that they could be missing out. That could be good enough for you to get them across the line to become a customer. Okay, so like Dode has a very nice, it's a very nice self-effacing kind of emails and say your shopping bag has abandonment issues, right? So these are the things that capture people. These are the things that is out of the ordinary, not common. Okay. Then you have post-purchase. Post-purchase, they have already bought something from you. Now you can actually show them something else of interest, primarily because you already know the SKU that they bought. Now you can match it with other SKUs as well, that you can actually encourage them. And this is the part where you increase your LTVs, or either you accelerate the LTVs already of users. Okay. So Crate and Barrel have some thanks. I'm going to go through all of them because I think we've got half an hour, so we're going to make full use. You can look at the emails in the handouts later. But some of them, these are some of the examples that you have. Birthdays. Why you want to collect birthdays? Because people are humans. So you can use this as emails to recognize the special occasion, right? So it could be, obviously birthday is the easiest one to do. The least resistant kind of data that you can collect. If you ask them for anniversary, maybe it'll be tough. But there are ways in email that you can eventually piece this data together through the interaction with your email. Okay, so we will go into deeper when, I think the masterclass we have covered this, but these are the next level of email marketing where you can track based on the user's click without having to ask them for more information. Okay. And I think this is transactional. So transactional, reinforce confidence. This one basically like ritual, sign, seal, and snooze. The idea is to prevent buyer's remorse, number one. Number two is to remind them to build anticipation of the product that's being shipped to you. Every time we buy something, the next thing, the moment we make a purchase, we want it like, if possible, like now. Okay. So emails like this keeps on feeding that momentum so that they keep your product in mind. And these are the good times or the best time because they will definitely open your emails, especially shipping information, order information. Transaction emails is great. And what you can do is you can do your cross sells. You can also add stuff that is complementary to the products they buy. Okay. So this is the other ways of you to increasing the revenue with your email marketing. And finally, like people who have not opened your emails for 30 days, 60 days, like I mentioned earlier, you can use win-back emails or win-back campaigns, right? Now, win-back campaigns are very simple. It's basically to just rekindle that person's that love with you, with your brand, with a gift. It could be, give them something extra, for example, or give them an extension of your trial if you're doing trial, or either give them another excuse to come back. Okay, for example, maybe your first version of your product may not be that good. That's fine. But once you have an upgrade, you can actually get back to people who have not interacted and then says, hey, we've got something new. Why don't you come back and have a look? Okay. And because emails, you can do it in automated form, this one requires very little effort for you to do it. You require some planning. Like if you look at one year's chart where she did the sequence, those are the things that people like us, email marketers, do. We go all the way there, but we actually plan them correctly, and then we write those emails accordingly. And from time to time, we may change the content, but generally, the moment we put into automation, it runs for us 24/7. That's the beauty of email marketing. So remember this. Just the final slide. Socials or social media ads are great for reach, no question. They are awesome if you want to get virality, for example. Nobody gets virality through email, okay? You can only get that from social media. But emails is awesome for revenue because you have this one-to-one communication. You can custom your message according to the users, according to the group of users. You can custom them according to their purchasing habits. You can custom them according to the amount or so-called the frequency they open your emails. There's so many things you can do. And when the person receives an email, as far as they're concerned, you could be sending to 100 million people. But as far as they're concerned, that email coming from you in your inbox and you write your content correctly and it's personalized to him or her, for example, it is very special. Okay, so social is great for reach, emails is great for revenue. So if you want more, there are 3 ways that you can get more information from me for free. I write a newsletter 5 days a week. I write 1 emails daily. And in this subscription, basically, I will talk about tips and tricks about email marketing. Some of the lessons that I've learned when working with my clients, some of the ideas that, our experiments. I will use this group when I do my experiments. And then I will share with you the findings of my experiments so that you can actually elevate your usage or your knowledge of email marketing. If you do not want to receive emails, which, is unusual, but, you do you, okay? You can follow me on LinkedIn. I'll be also having another webinar on the 20th for 1 hour. And basically, there'll be other contents from there. And if you want to call, just book a free planning call with me. Chacha, I'm done.
Thank you so much. And I'm up back in the screen. Yeah.
Awesome.
So awesome. So there you go. So you have the contact from Andrew as well. So for those that still asking for presentation slides, yeah. So as one last time, all the slides from today's speakers, they are willing to share. So check out on Sidec website. Under Sidec TV, after this session, the video will be uploaded together with the presentation slides. Yeah, Sikian. So I hope I answer your question for that. And right now, let's move on to the Q&A questions session. And we have all our speakers back.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, so before that, I have collected some of the questions from the audience. Our team will also put this survey link in the comment box right now. Yeah, so there you go. So for those people that still here with us, do help us to fill in the survey link for today. Yeah, so share with us what are some of the feedbacks are. Yeah, so some of the topics that you would like to listen for the future sessions as well. So spend some time to do that. All right, so and if you have any other questions, you can also type in the comment. Yeah. Link of the slides. Okay, not up yet. Not up yet. Yeah, so just wait. Check out on Sidec website. So you will see the Sidec TV. They will be uploading it. Okay, so some questions that we put up for our speakers of today. So I'll just highlight it. Yeah, so over here.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are some good questions that we just pick up from the session itself. So I'll direct it to certain of you so you can have a look at the questions first. So first one, I think that is during 1E sessions. So is there a correlation where they are promoting versus like the choice of the media channel? Because you did mention like email, some people will read longer. WhatsApp is like something different. So your point of view on this?
Okay. First of all, great question there, Andy. Correlation between different channels. I would say understanding your customer and whether they prefer their information, different types of information on different channels. Like some people that I know, they prefer short, to the point, key points on WhatsApp. But they just they still want to know the details, but they prefer it in email. So, I think just like Andrew was saying, sometimes it takes a little bit of planning. Where do you want to actually post this content and put this content out there? And if you go by team, that means you do social media planning, right? Or any sort of planning for your content, which I think content is the next module. But you have to plan it in such a way that you are going to focus on talking about this topic, but some things you can break down in 4 different channels, people of different channels, and you can attract different kind of people that way. Yeah, so that's basically how you can approach that. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, quite true. So maybe let's move on to the next question on that. So different channels are different, like the content is different. I think there's one question that asks about like how many paragraphs also. So I will come to that. So the second question is from Charlotte that we have. So I mean, this question actually came up from few audiences as well. So there are people who sell email data. So is it advisable to purchase? Yeah, on this one, maybe I will direct this question to Mr. Andrew. What's your thoughts on this?
I wouldn't recommend you to buy any email addresses. I think, and even if you ask Jeffri, as a platform for providers, one of the checks they do is they want to make sure that the emails that you upload to their systems are acquired organically or through processes or through steps that you actually participate in, because they have a responsibility to protect the IP address to be as pristine as possible. And the last thing you want is for you to also damage your domain reputation by sending emails to people who don't know you, or even at worst, even have not given you consent. Because that is definitely, they will send you to spam hell if you do it wrongly.
All right. Yes. So actually, it is quite true. Yeah. So that's where the next question also comes back into like how to avoid the email send out not going into spam email. So this one, I think the next question I will direct it to Mr. Jeffri. I think it links up to the next question of the open rate as well, because you did mention about it. So the third and fourth question. So let's answer the number 3 question first. Maybe Engine Miller will help on this. Yeah, how to avoid the email send out not going into spam to their clients.
Okay, it all goes back to that whole data thing, right? I saw some questions earlier as to how do email service providers protect our data. So when you upload your database into our platforms, our job is to make sure that that data is only accessible by you, not even us at the end of the day, because we have not got the right to access your data. So I think for email platforms, to answer that, we comply to regulatories out there. We comply to GDPR, PDPA. So rest assured that if you go after or subscribe for a proper ESP, your data is secure. So it now goes to do not buy, do not sell data. Number one is if you bought the data from a person, say this list of contact emails, imagine the amount of other people that have also bought this list. And imagine that your data, if you go after a service provider to send for you, is also sold to your competitors, right? So that's something a definite no-no. So to make sure that the spam goes into the email box, there's a lot of things to consider. But number one is make sure that you get opt-out emails and send people the content that they want. That is the general rule that you need to follow. As far as how do you track the open and delivery rates, so when we mean tracking, we don't mean putting it into Outlook and then start tabulating data into Excel and all that stuff. So if you sign up to platforms like Engine Mailer, all these reports are part of the service. So you don't need to count anymore. The moment you send to 1,000 people, it will tell you that it's gone out to 1,000 people and how many open, how many click, all those reports are part of the platform. And to answer another question, which I've seen a couple of times on iOS 15, yes, you're right. iOS 15 is coming out soon. And in iOS 15, there are tighter policies. So one of their policies is do not track. So you will not be able to get open matrices anymore, because how open matrix is tracked on email is there's a download of an image, right? So first thing you need to realize is iOS does not contribute to the total email base. So open rates is a good indicator, but it is not the only indicator that you're monitoring, right? So look for other KPIs to track your campaigns. In fact, one of the indicators that you do is you can always still track the growth of your database. That's a very clear one, regardless of whether someone opens or not, it's irrespective. But the click-through rates are still trackable. So what we're saying is we cannot track the open rate. So maybe you're having a 8% open rate and a 2% click-through rate. You're still able to click that 2% click-through rate and track that, right? So that now, instead of having a funnel, how many you send, how many you open, and how many click. So start tracking the click-throughs, which is still at the funnel. It's just that you don't get the middle layer data, right? So there are other reports that are still available. So you just need to know where these reports are so that you can correlate them digitally, right? That's the summary.
Yeah,
Just
very.
to
Just
Yeah,
to add
Jeffrey,
on.
just to add, another thing that you can do now is prior to September, before iOS 15 is launched, can actually segment your audience based on the most of the email platforms. I'm sure Angel Mailer has it. That you'll be able to know who are the users on Gmail, who are the users on Apple iOS, for example, who are the users on Outlook and all those things. So what you do now, before is formalized, you separate them into different groups, and then you monitor the open rates from now. And when the iOS 15 comes into place, which is going to give you very, it's 100%, it's going to be 100% opens. But at least now, you know there's a trend about 50, 60%, or depending on your numbers of this group of people, and you email them according to their platform. So that's one way of you to actually start collecting information about your users now. Don't wait until iOS 15 is up.
Yeah, actually, to summarize, technology always improving, right? So before the things happen, so track whatever that you can. Yeah, so focusing on the data that is more relevant and important. But also, I'm sure all the platforms are going to upgrade as the time goes along as well. So thank you, Mr. Andrew and Mr. Jeffrey, for answering for those questions and picking up all the questions from the audience as well. Yeah. So next question, I think, is still people are coming back to the content, because I think all the speaker session also mentioned about content. So in terms of email marketing, some of you mentioned it's long enough. Some of you have different examples as well. So when it comes to paragraph, maybe I'll direct this to Ms. Wan Yi on this. Yeah. So how many paragraphs are okay for email marketing?
Okay. To answer this question, I think in my presentation, I did mention something like HTML emails and plain text emails, right? So plain text emails is personalized. So people will actually pay more attention to the content, to the words inside the text. So for that kind of email, you can basically write longer paragraphs, but it must be to the content and in a tone that is very personalized. So you might need more words to actually create that emotion with them. So yeah, basically the content is long or short, how many paragraphs, it really depends on what you want to tell them. But just like I remember Andrew was also sharing a few tips on copywriting, right? So he was also saying you must have a good hook. Then you go into the meat of your content. So again, what I like to say, I also teach social media a little bit. Emails is the same. It's like content. It's the IDA formula. You create an attention first, all right? Ask them a question or something. Then make them stop, think, and then you create some sort of interest for them to read on, and you increase their desire, and at the end of the day you give them an action to take. So that's generally like a link or something that people can click on and to move on. So the meat, how you bring out the desire, how to bring out the interest, feel free to share as much content as you feel that to drive them into eventual action. And those of you who are doing HTML emails, please do not do emails there is just one image. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people. I've seen this happen on insurance companies. They basically just scan their flyer, put it inside the email, and just send it out like that. Do you know that this is actually a very big black mark for the spam filters? They will say, oh, your email just only image, no text. They will actually mark you as spam, very likely. So yeah, that's my take on paragraphs.
Okay.
You must have text.
Yeah, actually quite true. I'm just seeing myself reading emails on daily basis, right? So it's so if just one, then it's kind of don't know what, then maybe it's happening in the spam as well. All right, so cool. So maybe the last, the question here, we have two more from the audience. So I will pick that two for the last two questions. But on the screen here, maybe I'll just ask the opinion from all our speakers today. So let's say the ultimate goal for the email, is it to drive towards online store? And then for the content, that for your experience that you have done email marketing before, content for email and social media should be the same or not? Yeah. So let's go one round. Maybe we go with Mr. Andrew first.
Sure. The emails, you can either draw them or basically drive them to your store. But in order to drive them to your store, you got to give them a reason why they have to go to your store. So that's the purpose of email, to build the why. It's not to do the selling. Your store is the one that's doing the selling. Or even if you have info products, your landing page is the one doing selling. The emails is to give them why, build enough curiosity to send them. The second part of the question is your content of the email and social media. It can be the same. It depends on context, how you use it. Okay. It depends on your understanding, because in social media, I'm blasting to everybody. Whereas in email, I'm going to send personally to one of the trick in email writing is you write with one person in mind. Although you may have 10,000 subscribers, but when you write your email, you visualize that you're writing to that one person in mind, because that one person is going to receive your email. Okay. So that way, you want to personalize your email. Social marketing can be general, but when you write, you use the same content, but you personalize it specifically to that person. Yep.
Very, very true. Thank you so much for that. Actually, it opens up the idea also. Yeah. So one is for public, the other one have to be personalized. So that sums up what Ms. Wani was talking about as well. So let's hear your thoughts also, Mr. Jeffri. Yeah. Anything to add on this question?
Yeah, so I have a slightly different view on this. The key objective is basically what you want the email to do for you, right? It could be driving to an online store if the message is you want to talk about a product and you want to get someone to buy your product, right? It could be also telling them about a downtime or your shop is going to be closed. It could be like me sharing out newsletters to tell you that I've got some new templates for you to go and choose from the store, right? It could be an automation that tells you this is your receipt, for example, or these are promotions, right? So I think it is very important from a messaging standpoint to think about what we want to communicate to the consumer, again, based on their target segments, right? It goes back to point number one on the Q&A as well, right? Is there a correlation to what we are promoting and the choice of media, right? I think same question, Andy, it's very related. So today is all about having an omni-channel approach. So you can reach them through email, you can reach them through social media, you can reach them through WhatsApp. You know, you have all these channels, but what would be the optimal channel to reach out to them, and what is the message that you're trying to get across, and what do you want them to do? So I think make those decisions based on the customer experience and the customer journey, rather than you trying to figure out, you know, what should I use? Think about how would they interact if they get the content through one of these other optional channels. That's how I would look at it.
Yeah, so different point of view for that as well. I can see Mr. Andrew also nodding. And then anything to add on this, Ms. Wani?
I would like to explain it like social media is like a football field. All right, so there are penalty boxes and stuff like that. And the goal is that, all right, so the way Andy writes it is, the first thing in my mind is really a football field. You have a ball. You want to help this player to get the ball into the goal. So you have a lot of players in front. So emails are basically an idea for you to share. How do you conquer all these obstacles in front of this person so that they can get to an eventual action, which is your online store? So think about it. Do these people have enough information for them to confidently go to your store and take an action later? So you might want to actually craft your entire planning from the point of them in that football field, and how to really get to the eventual stage of buying something from you in their own context. So if I'm a attacker, I would basically, need to know a path that is there. So yeah, that's my take about it.
Yeah. So very good points, like from all our speakers also. So last two questions, just a quick one. I think the audience actually put in. I mean, this one comes from Andy again, direct to Mr. Andrew specifically. Yeah. So after having good engagement with customer via email, and the customer prefer to stay in communication and WhatsApp. So do you advise to drop them from the email mailing list totally?
No, I would, as long as they don't unsubscribe to my list, they will get they will get emails from me, or they will get emails from you. They should. And because your content is slightly different, your WhatsApp is short messaging, right? It is directly into their mobile phones. The problem with WhatsApp or even mobile messaging is you cannot do it that often. Okay. because it gets irritating up to the point they may even block you, right? But with emails, I have cases where I write 3 to 4 emails in a day, especially when I'm doing a campaign. I can do that. And it is less intrusive or less obnoxious, if you want to call it, because it's on their inbox. The decision for them whether they want to open or not is entirely up to them. So you can play around with WhatsApp and emails concurrently. Want to send it back to your emails, or either you use WhatsApp for them to, go to another stores or something like that on your mobile.
Yep.
You can use both.
So still keep, yeah? So as a conclusion, still keep, because that is where to get people information, and once a while they will definitely catch their attention. Very good one. And last question here, I think is from Color. Yeah, so this one I direct it to Mr. Jeffri to answer. Yeah, so before we wrap it up. So yeah, very good question. So based on like having like platforms like for email marketing, can one man handle the technical email marketing as well with tight budgeting? Yeah, so what's the overall timing to spend on email marketing from your experience?
Yeah, so my view is, I'm not going to answer this specifically from an email marketing standpoint. I'm going to answer this across all the digital tools that are available out there today, right? So these tools are no longer technical, right? Do not think about these tools that you need, a lot of training and HTML expertise and, all this stuff in order to operate. So you must think of it as a business standpoint, as a business owner or as an executor. They are designed so that an average person, even my 9-year-old son, if he goes and sign up online with the right tutorials, he will know what to do and he will be able to do it, right? That's number one. Number two is these tools are very, very cheap, right? Often, like even tools like Engine Mailer, there's no cost to it. You can sign up for a free account and upload your databases and do all this stuff that we just shown you earlier. So I think the key here is to start. So don't worry about budgets. You don't need a big budget. I mean, when your list starts getting bigger and when you need to send to more people, at that point, I will assume that you're already seeing results. Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind spending $5, $10 a month just to pay for a paid service. But to get started, no technical expertise and very little budget. That's my answer.
Very, very good point. So again, I think for those that join our session, all the speakers also advise to get started first. Yeah, start small, don't worry about it, and then eventually, when your database grow, you already have a lot of budget to actually spend on that. Yeah, so once again, I think that will be the last questions for today. And we have slightly overrun, but I would like to thank all our speakers for today. I mean, very fruitful session. Yeah, so most of people are still staying on here. I would like to thank Mr. Jeffri, Mr. Andrew, and Ms. Yuee for sharing your knowledge on email marketing to the audience today. We hope to see you in the future session. All right, thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So for those people who are still here with us, yeah, so just a little bit before I wrap it up. So do fill in the survey form for us. Yes, well, we would love to hear it from you. And then for those that interested for more upcoming session, sadly to say, this coming Thursday will be our last session on content marketing. So some of you asked about content marketing, yeah? So do join us for our last session. I hope to see you, yeah? So on Thursday, 2 to 4 o'clock. And as well as for some of you are interested for like upcoming classes, we do have Sidec. Yeah, so have upcoming classes on masterclass. Yeah, masterclass. So it's $150 per class. So first 4 sessions is going to be in October, will be in BM, and the other 4 sessions will be in English. Same topic happening in November. So you can check out on Sidec website to make your registration and sign up for those classes. And last but not least, at the end, we will put up the survey form again. Do fill in, and then we hope to see you again on Thursday. Meanwhile, stay safe, everyone. Stay healthy. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.